That's to give us some specific views of these storms from ground level. And again, you cannot beat ground truth on this. Down in the lower box down here, those are Skycam statewide on the Region Skycam network, just to give you a glimpse of the weather statewide. So, Drew, let's kind of take a bigger view and let's kind of do a reset here. Let's go to our severe thunderstorm watch. So, this is going to be the watch that is in effect until 10 o'clock tonight. The southernmost counties in this watch would include Pickens, Tuscaloosa, Bibb, Chilton, Coosa, Tallapoosa, and Chambers, all the way to the Tennessee state line. That's where the main concern will be for the next several hours. The storm should weaken after 8, 9 o'clock tonight once the air begins to stabilize somewhat. But again, within this zone, we could see a few storms with large hail, strong winds, and maybe an isolated tornado. Let's go back to the Columbus Air Force Base radar. Wanted to mention that we do have storms that are in rotation over in Mississippi, but the tornado warnings have expired. That's the good news. The storm cluster that's coming into Tupelo. Earlier, there was strong evidence of a tornado, and again, you can see the hook there, but again, it looks like there's been some occlusion, and at this point, the Weather Service in Memphis, they cover Tupelo. They've opted to now just have basically a severe thunderstorm warning in effect here. But let's look at the velocity real quick, Drew, just to kind of peek and see what it looks like. Maybe we can back it up for a few frames and see what it looked like over here in Pontotoc and areas to the, again, pretty good indication of a tornado here. And again, that rotation simply goes away. It's occluded. So, again, a tornadic storm coming near Pontotoc, Mississippi has weakened as it comes into the Tupelo metropolitan area here. So again, we see no tornado warnings anywhere in Alabama or Mississippi. We have severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. And again, we'll pop the reflectivity back on, and this is embedded in a large rain mass. And the other thing, too, we'll have to watch for, it's heavy rain. It's kind of hard to see. There's a little polygon right here, a green one. That is a flash flood warning polygon, and that is in effect for a small part of Franklin County around Red Bay. And Drew, I don't think I've seen a flash flood warning polygon that small. Have you?
I might set a record there for sure. And you know, it had some very heavy rain over it earlier. You can see that obviously the storm to the east of it that's got the severe thunderstorm warning. Right now, it's still got some moderate rainfall over it there. So you know, obviously, as long as it continues to get some sort of rainfall, that's could be exacerbating the issue. And you can see that it looks like you've got you know, that storm that we were talking about that had the tornado warning on it that no longer does. You know, the northern edge of that could clip that area there near Red Bay, but it does appear you go back off to the northwest a little bit. Looks like it'll start to taper off, so hopefully that won't create too many more issues. But you see, you have another flash flood warning polygon back in Mississippi as well. So in addition to watching the severe aspect of this, the possibility of some strong wind gusts, possibility of some hail, and there is a kind of non-zero threat of tornadoes, obviously, then we still will be watching those. But then the rain, the flooding is something we'll continue to monitor as well. Although it looks like it'll be hopefully fairly short-lived in most cases if we do get a little bit. But you know, if you know of those areas that typically flood, that make it a little bit dicey to pass over certain intersections, things like that, you just want to avoid those for sure during the time that you've got all this rain around.
All right, so again, we are at 5:26, and we're going to stay with you live for a bit here. And we want to stress we have no tornado warnings. I know when you see James Spann, he's got the suspenders going here. Typically, there's a tornado warning. There is not. We have severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for northwest Alabama, specifically for eastern Franklin, northeastern Marion, northwestern Winston, and far western Lawrence counties up here in northwest Alabama for this cluster that's about to come through Haleyville. And that'll be ultimately coming through Moulton here within the next 30 minutes or so. So again, if you are in Lawrence, northern Winston, eastern or northeastern Hamilton, you're dealing with a storm complex, and we just don't see any evidence of storm rotation. And again, up here in the top box, you saw earlier, Brian had punched up the Hatton Skycam. That's one of our fixed cameras that's in Moulton. I say fixed. We have full pan, zoom, tilt control of these cameras. But again, that's one of the cameras. And let's see, I don't know if Kevin can hear me.
That's actually Chris. That's Chris Mann.
Okay. Do we know where Chris is?
His last whereabouts I'm seeing here, he was near Warrior. I know he was, I think, heading in the direction of Coleman, up on off. It looks like he's obviously off of 65 at this point. I don't know, Chris, are you able to hear us?
I don't believe I'm not hearing him.
Yeah, I'm not hearing him either.
But again, we'll check his exact location here. But if we can, Ryan, go back to the Hatton Skycam. We'll put that up on that box here for just a second. This is in Lawrence County, about right here, kind of looking back into this. And again, you're just not going to see much. And again, we have no tornado threat at this point. We see no evidence of a tornado. It's just basically a lot of wind and rain. The lightning concentration is in this segment right here. It came through Phil Campbell. And again, it's come through Hackleburg. It's come through Phil Campbell. The risk of this storm from being severe, it's ended because the storm is now east of there. It's coming through Bear Creek and Phillips High School, and then next it's going to be coming right into Haleyville here. So again, for those of you in northwestern Winston and northeastern Marion, just be aware that this storm is packing quite a punch. We've really not heard of any specific damage today from these particular storms, which is certainly a good thing. And again, I'm seeing a lot of videos here. And Bill, are you monitoring the user-generated stuff that's coming in here? Okay, we'll let you take that here in a second, because there's some pretty good stuff here. It looks like I'm seeing a lot of kind of minor flooding issues here, which is one of the things we're concerned about here. These are very, very efficient rain producers. The precipitable water values are extremely high. And so just be aware of that, and that we might certainly have some flooding issues. And of course, this is a time where people are driving home and want to get home. And again, you know what I'm about to say. Turn around, don't drown. If you come across water running across the roadways, we have tremendous rain rates here falling within these storms. And again, what you see up here north of the Tennessee River, the air is more stable. Athens, Huntsville, Hazel Green, Meridianville, New Hope, Madison, places like that. The odds of severe storms north of the Tennessee River, I'd say, are pretty low. Not zero, but pretty low. And I know that technically you're in the watch, but the conditions up here, Jackson, Madison, Limestone, just don't really favor damaging winds or tornadoes. If we have any problem with those, most likely it's going to be south of the Tennessee River. And again, we're watching that cluster right here that'll be coming through Lawrence and Morgan, and ultimately Winston and Cullman counties here in North Alabama. Let's quickly peek at the storm down here in Fayette. I want to look at the southernmost storms. Often in a big rain mass like this, down here, there's nothing to block the inflow, and they're getting some good inflow into this. So let's look at the velocity on this. This storm is no issue here. We just don't have any issue with damaging wind or tornadoes, none whatsoever. And that's good. That's a very good thing. So again, back to the reflectivity. If anything, it's just flooding. And again, from Bankston back over to Belk and Fayette here, again, possibly some minor flooding problems that'll be coming over into the eastern part of Fayette County around Berry. That's the Fayette-Walker County line. But that's a good thing down here in the southern extent of that, where the air is much more unstable. We just don't see any problems here. So we'll expand out the view. And again, the good news, Drew, and I think you can confirm this, I just haven't seen any damage today. Have you, from any source?
Not so far, James. Everything we've been seeing has been, like you mentioned, there's been a little bit of flooding here and there. It does look like we see an LSR back in Mississippi. It looks like at least starting to come in for some hail. I know we were talking about earlier that we weren't even sure we weren't seeing the kind of hail that we were expecting that we might see yet at this point. But it does look like back there near Grenada, Mississippi, that there was 1-inch hail that was reported within the last 30 minutes or so there. And that's with some storms there that got a severe thunderstorm warning on them. But even with the one earlier there that's now near Tupelo that doesn't have, that had a tornado warning on it, no longer has one, has a severe thunderstorm warning. Not seeing any reports coming from that one as well. So again, it appears things are behaving for the most part so far. Not to say that these aren't some pretty heavy thunderstorms coming through, but yeah, we're keeping an eye on things. And I know another storm that I've been looking at, I'm just kind of zooming back up to kind of the Madison County area. This was coming through Decatur earlier. This one's got a good bit of lightning with it. It's moving into basically right along 565 now, moving towards the airport. I'll just click on the velocity real quick. Yeah, so it's got some broad rotation here. That's another one we'll need to watch as it's kind of heading in the general direction of Huntsville. But it's been trying to spin a bit. It's got a lot of lightning, but it hasn't been a tight rotation at this point, but still something that we'll be keeping an eye on there in Madison County.
All right. So again, that's a good catch by Drew. That little spot right there, that's along 565. And again, that's very close to Huntsville's airport, which you see down here, HSV. And that little segment will be coming into Huntsville. And we might want to go to the Montesano camera. And I gut feeling you can't see anything. We've got Hatton up now for Lawrence County. We'll flip it over to Montesano. And again, this is coming from the top of Montesano in Huntsville. And obviously, we're not going to be able to see much with the camera in that the visibility is quite restricted. But needless to say, there's a lot of lightning. And again, the lightning, it continues to increase here. And sometimes that's kind of a telltale sign. And again, so let's go back to the velocity on this, Drew. Again, this is a storm that's coming up into Madison. And again, we've got some broad rotation right here. Not the tornadic type rotation, but still, you got to flag this and watch this thing really carefully. Again, this is the rotation detector. And again, it's clearly the updraft is trying to spin here. So again, there might be a little boundary up here. Initially, it looked like the big problems could be south of the river. This is a little north of the Tennessee River. But again, broad rotation out here near the airport. And the one thing, we do have a large group of sky watchers that are watching this together. And we've not had any reports of damage from them. And on the open socials, I've not seen any damage reports at this point. And again, normally, if anything was happening at this spot, this very densely populated spot, that's basically right at Toyota Field, we would know about it immediately. So again, we're not seeing any reports coming in, which is good. Again, let me just stress, this is broad rotation coming right up into Huntsville. And again, we're watching these sky cams, we can leave the Huntsville camera up, Bill. We'll check those outages here in just a second.
Get that ready for you right there.
We want to have the Montesano camera because I want to look right into this as it's coming into Huntsville. All right, there we go. And again, you can't see anything. It's just pouring rain. But still, sometimes lightning can illuminate features that we can see together. So again, this is live from the Region Skycam Network in Huntsville on Montesano Mountain. Down below, that's all live, but that's from various other parts of the state, just to give you an eye of what's happening statewide. We are a statewide network. So again, broad rotation that's near Redstone Arsenal. And again, us old timers, we immediately flash back to 1989 when we had a tornado that formed here on the 15th of November that would ultimately come into Airport Road, Whitesburg, Jones Valley. It was not good. I mean, this is nothing like that, but it formed in the same general area, and that was a merger between a squall line and an individual cell. It was a cell merger that caused the updraft to kind of explode, and we don't have that circumstance right now. But this is the wind velocity at radar beam height from the radar that's in Jackson County at high top. So again, 2,000 feet off the ground, it's pretty windy here at 53. So again, we'll kind of watch that feature as it comes up into Huntsville. But the atmosphere just doesn't seem to be primed for tornado formation up in this part of the state. But still, we got that inflow notch, and it just looks creepy, Drew. I mean, we've been doing this a long time. And explain that hail detector product for a lot of people that have not seen this before.
Yeah, James. So yeah, this storm definitely looks like it's one of the stronger storms that's in the state at this point. And so what we're looking at here, notice how you've got a hail detection product. I'll explain, but notice all the lightning around it here. So again, a lot of times, obviously, when you have a hail within a thunderstorm, you tend to get a lot of lightning in that same area. So what this product is looking at a number of different products. Some of the products that we show you sometimes, like the correlation coefficient that sometimes looks at debris, but there's other products that are dual pole products that are some next generation radar products that we have access to that are looking and trying to find, okay, where is their hail most likely to be within a thunderstorm. So whenever we see a hail signature with this particular product, which just shows us where could the hail be right now, that's looking at the lowest tilt of the radar closest to the ground. Like James mentioned, in this particular area, you're a couple thousand feet off the ground. And so we can at least say with pretty good confidence looking at that there's some hail just a couple of thousand feet off the ground. Still can't say for sure that it's falling, but we'll see if we start to get some reports, because obviously this is a very populated area there, right there along 565. In fact, we're probably pretty close to the Trash Panda Stadium and everything like you were talking about earlier there, James. But certainly looks like there could be some hail there. The hail swath product takes you over the last hour, so it shows that there could have been some small hail probably further back into Limestone County, but it's looking a little bit stronger, I'd say, now than it was a little bit further towards to the west. So that'll be something we'll have to watch.
All right, Bill, what you got over there?
Severe thunderstorm warning from Huntsville, James, for Marshall, Jackson, and Madison.
Okay,
it'll be in effect until 6:45.
Yeah, it's got to be.
It's for this thing. So again, the Weather Service in Huntsville is issuing a severe thunderstorm warning. This is not a tornado warning. It is a severe thunderstorm warning for this thunderstorm that is showing that broad rotation. Again, it's coming up toward the Redstone Arsenal property right here. And again, you can see this is the polygon right here. And that includes extreme northern Marshall. Again, this is basically north of Albertville, north of Gunnersville up here, extreme northern Marshall and Madison, again, from the storm on east, and then back into parts of southern Jackson counties here. So again, this is a severe thunderstorm warning until 6:45 for this storm cluster. So let's go back into a closer look at that. And again, we're going to look at the other storms here in a second. I promise we're going to go back to the storm that is near Haleyville. But this is possibly producing some small hail right along Interstate 565 near Toyota Field. Let's put on the velocity display. And again, we've got broad rotation right here, and that's moving in the direction of South Huntsville. So again, and this is the latest volume scan. Again, you can see that broad rotation is right over the Arsenal property here. And that'll be coming across the southern part of Huntsville. And again, this is broad, but again, things can, if there's a tornado today, it's not going to be some long track tornado that's down for 1 hour. Most likely it's going to be a smaller one that's down for a minute or 2 or 3 or 4. And those can be really tricky to deal with, and it's almost impossible for people to be warned about them because they last for a minute. By the time you see it, the tornado's gone and the warning is issued, so those are hard to warn for. So just be aware. If you're in South Huntsville, you might want to just consider, since we got a severe thunderstorm warning, being in a safe place like this was a tornado. You want to be in a small room on the lowest floor near the center, no windows. And again, from the Huntsville camera, we're just not going to be able to see much. Again, it's just going to be rain. If anything is there, it is all wrapped in rain. But again, we could clearly see some stronger wind velocities in through here. And again, this is not the time of day where you want to see this thing coming through. It is 5:40. Hopefully a lot of folks are home, but some folks are obviously driving home, and it's a mess. But the encouraging thing for me is the fact that I don't see anything from our sky watchers in Madison County. I don't see anything from the EMA in Madison County. Don't see anything from the Weather Service in Huntsville. And I don't see anything on the open socials. Typically, a Facebag and a Tweeter, they will light up in a heartbeat if there's something going on here. And we don't see that, which is a good thing. So again, we don't believe there's a tornado here. This is just broad rotation, but that is a severe thunderstorm. The warning includes Huntsville, again, down to the river, down here. And again, that's going to include Owens Crossroads, which is right here, Gurley, which is right here on US 72, and parts of southern Jackson County and extreme northern Marshall County. So that's storm number 1 we're watching. Let's go back to the one near Haleyville, Drew. We're going to bounce back between the two storms. That's what we'll do here. And again, let's take a look. And this thing just looks pretty messy. You can see it's tremendously just raining heavily here. Moulton down through the Bankhead National Forest into northern Winston County. Haleyville back over to Ashridge. 278 is down here. This is Double Springs. Let's pop the velocity display on, which, and again, it's the same thing. There's just really, really, really broad rotation right here that is located off to the northeast of Haleyville. And that's moving. It'll be crossing Alabama 33. And again, I love that drive. That goes from Moulton down to Double Springs. That's in the Bankhead National Forest. So just broad rotation here, not a tornadic type rotation, and you just cannot issue tornado warnings for that. If you do that, your false alarm ratio would be 95%, and we can't have that. So the Weather Service folks are doing a good job of, keeping that finger off the button today. Again, let's pop on, Bill, our Double Springs camera. We've got so many cameras on the Region Skycam network, and again, we're going to change the top box from Huntsville, which is just, you can't see anything because of the rain there. We're going to go to Double Springs, which is in Winston County. And again, that's what it looks like from there. And all these cameras are basically going to show the same thing. And we have multiple chasers in the field as well that are working this event today, and they're going to encounter the same thing. This is just a lot of rain. And our storms in this state are not the sexy kind of storms they have in Kansas and Oklahoma, where they're LP. They're mostly during the day. Ours are rain-wrapped. Most of them happen at night, and you can't see them because of these amazing hills and trees we have here. We're blessed with the natural resources. But again, that's just broad rotation here. So that's the one in Winston County. Let's go back to the one in Madison County near Huntsville. And again, we are going to watch both of these carefully. Again, same thing, broad rotation. And this is 431 coming out of here. This is 231 coming down here. And again, that'll be crossing those major arteries soon. And again, that'll be out here toward Airport Road, Whitesburg. And then ultimately crossing into either Jackson or extreme northern Marshall counties over the next hour or so. But again, the position is very similar to 89. Yes, sir, Bill.
Yeah, James, this is Skywatcher Clay Hunsaker, who's got a visual on the wall cloud as it approaches Huntsville.
Yeah, zoom into that so we can see it a little better. There we go.
I'm thinking that might be the 231 bridge.
Over the Tennessee River?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it's looking like to me. I don't know if he...
So no, they're pretty close to the trees, but it appears to me to have visual separation between the ground and the cloud, obviously. So not expecting there to be a tornado. But the storm relative velocities are very high in this area. So that's, the lightning picture from Haleyville there from just a small time ago. And this video from Madison showing the intense lightning that's going on there, James.
Yeah, so again, we thank everybody for their photos and the images that we receive. And again, we can't show them all, but we see them all in real time. Again, we have a large team here that is processing all this information, which I've never had before, which is great. It enables me to tell a coherent story while everybody else is focused on radar cameras and the images that you're sending us. So again, thank you for helping us. We could not do this without you. So again, a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Madison, southern Jackson, extreme northern Marshall counties in northeast Alabama for the storm complex. The core concern is south of Huntsville, where the active lightning is in here, just south of downtown Huntsville. So let's go back to Montesano Mountain, the Huntsville camera here on the top camera. Again, you're seeing Winston County and Double Springs. That's the other stronger storm in the state. We'll kind of bounce back and forth between Huntsville and Double Springs and the Skycam box. And again, this is coming from that amazing Regions Skycam network, and we're so thankful for that. But again, there's your warning right here. And again, in Jackson County, just to give you an idea of who's in and who's out, you can see that in Marshall County, this includes Grant and points north. In Jackson County, Skyline and points south. This does include the city of Scottsboro. That's the county seat of Jackson County here. This is Lake Gunnersville, which is right here. And obviously this includes areas along the lake. So again, that area, broad rotation and potentially strong winds will be coming out across southern Jackson, northern Marshall, and then potentially into DeKalb. This is DeKalb County right here. And we'll just have to see if this thing holds together. So let's look at the rain rates, Drew, real quick. The other concern is flooding. Maybe we'll look at rain for the last 3 hours or so. I don't know if we got that product. If we've got a 3, yeah, that's perfect. So let's do a pixel query back over here into maybe Limestone or Lauderdale, where we got the yellows here. And let's see, yeah, 2.7. So we've got some spots that have had between 2 and 3 inches of rain over the past 3 hours. Understand, this is a radar estimate, but I believe these are very valid. And with that, there certainly could be some minor flooding going on here. We have no flash flood warnings up and through here, but just be aware. Again, this strip is just amazing up here in western Lauderdale. Killen, Rogersville, up toward Lexington, Anderson. You've had in the 2 to 3 inch range easily. And again, much of Limestone County with about 2 inches. And again, these are very efficient rain producers. So that's one of the things we want to focus on here, is the fact that there could be some flooding issues. And again, these are rainfall rates, and it is just absolutely pouring. That's, goodness gracious, Drew. That's a lot of rain. People don't know how much rain that is. Imagine getting 4 inches of rain in one, or 5 inches of rain in 1 hour. So flooding is one concern we got to watch.
Yeah, that's for sure, James. Yeah, I mean, of course, this would be, if this sat over that one spot for 1 hour, then you might end up with a total somewhere close to that. We are getting a little bit close to the radar. That might make it get a little bit higher than it might be really in truth. But again, yeah, that's some very heavy rain rates there that we're seeing, and it's been borne out by some of the flood warnings that we've seen around so far across the state. Again, kind of taking a look at the last 3 hour totals here and kind of zooming out. Let's kind of see where else we might have some little bullseyes. It looks like there's been some additional very heavy rain, over probably 2 inches in the last 3 hours. Further back towards the west in Mississippi, looks like as that moved further towards the east, it's maybe not raining quite as much, but again, we haven't had the rain from those here quite as long yet. But it certainly looks like that heavier band is further towards the north. And again, we really don't have, because we have very little going on further towards the south at this point, you don't have any issues with rain in those areas. But again, that'll be something we'll continue to watch with this. But actually, no, that's okay. Never mind. I saw this hail core over here, but so this is interesting. This is showing a big hail core in the storm that's approaching the state line, but we're seeing this from the high top radar. So yes, there's hail in this storm, but as I put my cursor over that beam is about 18,000 feet off the ground. So that's definitely got a lot of hail in it, but that's at 18,000 feet. Just to kind of show you just a little lesson here, if we go back to the Columbus radar, still possible that we've got some hail there just looking at the high reflectivity there, but right at the Columbus radar, which is right there nearby, that's only about 1,000 feet off the ground. So it looks like there is some hail, but there's a good bit less there at the surface. So a little kind of unintentional radar analysis there. But certainly, we are at least starting to see some evidence of hail, especially not so much further to the north where you're kind of into this massive rain, but certainly kind of in some of these storms a little bit further to the southwest that are kind of out in their own environment a little bit more. Looks like they have a little bit better chance to generate some hail that we might start to get some reports for, James.
Yeah, seeing some reports here from Rogersville in Lauderdale County of flooding coming from downtown Rogersville. And Bill Murray, do you follow Rogersville Fire Department on Facebook? If not, you might want to do that and pull some of those images up to show some of the flooding. It's one of our concerns that's going on up in parts of Lauderdale County. And again, you can see why we've got some flooding issues here. And again, you head up toward Anderson up here, that's 2.8, 2.7 back toward Elgin. So tremendous amounts of rain falling today in parts of Lauderdale and Limestone counties. And it's still raining, just not as heavily. So again, that's the situation there. So let's go back to the radar and just kind of do a reset here. It's 5:50, and we're going to stay with this for a while. We've got Evan Chickvera back at 3340. Evan's going to handle the 6 o'clock weather on the television side, so we'll stay with you on the AWN side. South Alabama, you're quiet. A lot of people are asking about that. And again, we do note there is one supercell storm that is down below Jackson that is producing a possible tornado down Interstate 55. And notice we have a tornado warning polygon here. That's the only active tornado warning polygon, but that thing is sitting down there by itself. So again, while we don't expect the coverage of rain down here in South Alabama, understand there could be a few isolated severe storms, and we'll watch that thing carefully as that storm is moving in the general direction of Hattiesburg along Interstate 59. So again, we have one supercell storm now in South Mississippi, and again, we're watching these additional storms in northeast Mississippi. Now, thankfully, the air has been really worked over here. But one consideration, we had the time change yesterday, so we're back on daylight saving time, which means the sun goes down now at about 6:52 in the evening, an hour from now. So that's another hour where the sun is out, and that can help to increase instability. Once we get the sun down about 7 o'clock, that will help to stabilize the atmosphere, but that's a slow process. Just doesn't happen like that. We can certainly see some severe storms after 7 o'clock, but hopefully by 8, 9, 10 o'clock, most of the severe threat will be over at that point. So again, let's go back to storm number 1. This is going to be the broad rotation that's just south of Huntsville. And again, we've got the Montesano Mountain sky cam you see right here. We're watching it, and we're just seeing a whole lot of rain. But again, That's the storm that's prompted the warning here. Maybe some small hail falling down the parkway just south of downtown Huntsville. And again, that'll be coming out here across 431 and US 72. Gurley, Owens Crossroads, New Hope is down here. There's Big Cove, and that will be crossing into Jackson County. And of course, Scottsboro looks like it'll be in the path of this thing if it holds together, and it probably will. And it's the same thing. This is just broad rotation. You cannot issue a tornado warning for a radar signature like that. You just can't do that. You see that over and over and over, and there's no tornado there. And if you issue tornado warnings that are constant false alarms, nobody pays attention. Again, the Weather Service doing a really good job today with these warnings. So severe thunderstorm warning in effect now for southern Madison County. And again, you can see this is for basically areas just south of downtown Huntsville down to the river. That's 231 here, 431 here, US 72 right here. Those are the three main arteries that come southeast out of Huntsville. This is the county line. This is Madison County. This is Jackson County. Scottsboro is here. Again, Lake Gunnersville is right here. That segment around Langston and Grant, you're in the severe thunderstorm warning polygon, and you can expect some pretty strong winds. But the encouraging thing is the fact that I've just not seen any reports to confirm that we've got enough wind to cause any major damage here. And again, we're watching various reports from the Weather Service offices. We're watching our Skywatcher chat, and so far, so good. That's a very good thing, and we hope it holds that way. Yes, sir. Bill, go ahead. Go.
James, I've got the flooding from Rogersville, thanks to our friends at the fire department there. And
we're sitting on black.
I'm sorry, that I had it pulled up there, and it goes away so quickly. Let's get that pulled up right here. Yeah. I don't know why we don't see it. It's sharing, but I don't know. But anyway, I've got that. Let me undo it real quickly and do it again, but it's not showing up. I'll pop it up one more time. But
we'll try it one more time, and if we can't get it, we'll go back to it here. And let's try it one more time.
Let's see if it comes up.
We're still sitting in black.
Yeah, I don't know, but I do have some reports. Our great Skywatcher Brian Falls reporting a tree down in Winston County, James, at the Pebble community. And that storm coming through Monroe County, Mississippi, near New Wren, definitely has golf ball size hail with it. Now, we don't have any reports on the ground yet, but the hail algorithm's tripping nearly 3-inch hail there, and the VIL on it is very, very impressive. It's starting to max out there. So that's going to be a storm that's going to get into West Alabama, into Lamar County,
right.
Southwestern, Marion County eventually. So that's going to be one to watch.
Try WEX 05 real quick, Ryan. Okay. I think we've lost connection with that particular source. We'll get one of the engineers to work on that. Anyway, having said all that, it is 5:55. We are working a day of rain and storms across Alabama. Some of the storms are severe. This is the first warning we have in effect, at least the northernmost warning. This is in effect for parts of southeastern Madison. This is for the storm that's just crossed over US 231. It's about to cross over 431. It'll be crossing 72. It'll be crossing 431 around New Hope and Owens Crossroads, US 72 around Gurley and Woodville, then ultimately affecting Scottsboro. One thing we'll promise, tremendous amounts of rain with this. And a lot of lightning. Again, there's this concentration of higher lightning you can see right in through here, and often that represents an area where there could be some strong winds. So again, we'll watch that carefully as it comes through. Let's go down to the second storm we're working. This is going to be the one that's down in northern Winston County. Other than that, it's just a lot of rain up here. So we'll check the Winston County storm, and all these warnings have expired. Looks like, Drew, the warnings have gone off the board. Correct me if I'm wrong. I see no warnings here, so we have no warnings, and I think we can clearly say that while I know you've got loud thunder and lightning, the storms are clearly below severe limits. We'll pop on the velocity, and again, that little feature that we've been watching has just basically gone away. So again, it looks like the winds are below severe criteria. We don't have large hail that's 1 inch in diameter or greater. So again, at this point, all of the warnings have expired for Marion and Winston and Lawrence. So for those of you here. So let's look at a big view and let's just look at all the warnings we have. I think we're down to one polygon in the state. And yeah, it's this one right here. That's the one that's just south of Huntsville, southeast of Huntsville. Everything else says there's a lot of rain. But let's cross the state line. And again, let's look at the storms that are coming out of northeastern Mississippi. We'll pop on the Columbus Air Force Base radar. And again, that could be some pretty meaningful hail right there. Drew, let's take a closer look at that storm near Amory, Mississippi. And yeah, that's some pretty big hail right there. Again, I don't know if we've got a hail swath or a hail product we can look at here. Yeah, the hail detector, and again, you can see that there's a very good chance that we've got large hail falling near Bigby, Mississippi. Amory is right here. Amory is part of the Golden Triangle in Mississippi. And again, that will be ultimately, if it holds together, crossing the Alabama-Mississippi state line and then moving into either Lamar or Marion or Franklin counties here. So we'll put the reflectivity back on. And again, that's a severe storm coming into Amory, Mississippi. Let's expand this out a little bit. There's Smithville right there. So there's your state line. And again, that's some really large hailfall. That was our main concern coming into this event, was large hail. And it sure looks like that segment is moving more to the southeast. And if that's the case, that would put that hail somewhere in Lamar County in about 20, 30 minutes from now. No evidence of any tornado activity here, but evidence of very large hail. So again, just be aware that we've got potential for some large hail that's coming into Lamar County, Alabama. So again, a reminder, what you're watching are the sky cams over here. We've got the Huntsville sky cam on the top. That's Montesano Mountain. And again, that heavier storm is passing south of downtown Huntsville. It's southeast of Huntsville now. And again, the other box, it is showing a rotation view of cameras across the state. These are all live views coming from the Region Skycam network, which is an amazing, dense network of cameras all across the state. If you're in Hamilton, Guin, Winfield, brilliant. It's just pouring rain, but there's nothing severe. Remember, there's a very strict definition of what is a severe storm, what is not a severe storm. To be severe, only two things: large hail, damaging wind, 1-inch diameter hail, or 58-mile-per-hour winds or greater. And we just don't have that with any of the storms in Marion, Lamar at this point. The only warning we have in Alabama is the one that is up into the northeastern part of the state. So again, but we got to keep a close eye on that very large hail that could be crossing over into Lamar County. Highway 17 is right here, Sulligent here, Vernon here. But let's bounce back up north, Drew. That's what we do here. We bounce between storms. We're going to take a look at the one storm that is prompting the one warning in the state, and it's this one right here that is southeast of Huntsville. This thing has shown very broad rotation. The atmosphere is just not ripe for a tornado, and I think that's a really good thing, because if it happened to be ripe for a tornado, we might have one down, but we don't. We've had this broad rotation. And again, the broad rotation is coming out around Big Cove and Owens Crossroads. Again, this is Highway 431 south of Huntsville. The storm is now east of US 231. So again, it's about to cross 431, then it's going to be crossing US 72 in Jackson County around Paint Rock, Woodville, Gurley, and then moving in the general direction of Scottsboro. But again, we stress this is not a tornado warning. This is a severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect for the southeastern part of Madison County, southern Jackson County, and extreme northern Marshall County up in northeast Alabama. And that is the only warning we have in effect at this point. We just have that one active severe thunderstorm warning in effect, which is certainly a good thing. So now that we're at the top of the hour, let's just do a reset, Drew. Let's take a look at our watch. And we'll take a look at the severe thunderstorm watch that is in effect for the northern half of Alabama. The southernmost counties are Pickens, Tuscaloosa, Bibb, Chilton, Coosa, Tallapoosa, and Chambers, counties north. South Alabama, you might see a severe storm tonight. You might, but they should be more widely scattered or isolated. I would suggest a lot of places in South Alabama with no rain at all tonight. But if a storm does form, it could be strong. But the better chance of organized severe storms, the northern half of the state. And again, we stress this is a severe thunderstorm watch, not a tornado watch, which means that the tornado is not the primary threat here. There could be an isolated tornado. The greater concern, large hail and strong straight line winds. So again, that's for the northern half of the state. That is in effect until 10 o'clock tonight. So that's the situation there. Let's go back to the radar. And again, you can see that we've got a storm that is very strong with a lot of lightning. We've had very broad rotation coming through a very densely populated part of Huntsville, including Redstone Arsenal. If there was a tornado down, we would know. There is not one. There has not been one, and we don't expect one now. But there could be some strong straight line winds, maybe a little hail in this, certainly a chance of some flooding. And again, there's your polygon. You can see who's in and who's out. And again, that's the hail tracker, so there's clearly a chance of some hail within this, but also the chance of strong gusty winds, and that'll be coming out toward Lake Guntersville here, section here, and Scottsboro here. And I would imagine we might get a really cool view off that section Skycam that is in Jackson County, so we might want to throw that one up here on, let's see, what links do we have up here in the top one, Bill? That's links 3. We'll give JP control of 3. We have a full-time camera operator here. Yeah, so this is our Skycam at section. This is in Jackson County. Just kind of get your bearings straight. That Skycam that you're looking at is about right here, looking back in this direction. This is an amazing view. This is from Weathington Park. If you've been up there, you know where that is, and it's just a beautiful view of the Tennessee River, especially when there's a nice sunset going on. And obviously, it's pouring rain, and that's the thing. We're going to have a hard time seeing much with these cameras. But again, in fact, there's a nice sunset. Look at here. That is coming from Jefferson. That's in Marengo County. So parts of Alabama getting a decent sunset here, but not everybody. But again, we're going to watch that storm as it comes out toward Lake Guntersville and ultimately Scottsboro. And again, the section camera should give us a pretty decent look at that. We've also got cameras in Marshall County, at Albertville. We've got them all over the state. We've got chasers out. Kevin Henderson is out today, and he's going to drift down toward Fayette to see if he can catch the hailer as it passes by. And let's see, do we have the Sulligent camera, Drew? We have so many new cameras up here.
We do. Yeah, it should be up on Links 3
okay.
there.
And we'll give JP control of Links 3 so he can pick what cameras are up there. And JP is our full-time camera operator, so he can just pick the ones that will offer the best view. I don't like to call him from here because he's got a shot of that. So yeah, this is coming from Sulligent. This is in Lamar County. And we are so thankful for Brett Adair and John Olshew and the team that has been putting together this network. This is not easy, putting out dozens and dozens and dozens of cameras statewide. But it really gives us a remarkable opportunity to show you the weather, and we know from social science studies that you do better when you see the weather, and it's visually interesting. And that's the thing that we are doing here with our camera network from regions and with our spotters and chasers that are on the ground and with the drones in the air. And again, we've got at least 2 chasers out this evening. I know that. And again,
Kevin is up right now. If you wanted to take him. I think he's near Highway 43. He was on I-22 earlier.
Yeah. Okay, so this is Kevin Henderson, who is in northwest Alabama. And again, it's just a lot of rain. I mean, I will tell you, it's just a lot of rain here. And I tell people all the time, we should be thankful we're getting a lot of rain because 76% of the state is in drought. So here's our new warning. This is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Lamar County in West Alabama. This is for the storm that is coming out of northeastern Mississippi that's producing the large hail. So again, this is a warning that includes Lamar County as far south as Vernon. This does not include Millport or Kennedy in the southern end of the county. This is for Vernon and points north. So again, Vernon, Sulligent, Highway 17 is right here. Detroit, which is up in the northern part of Lamar County, and that's for this storm. This one right here that has been producing some pretty large hail. In fact, let's put that hail tracker product on there, Drew. And again, you can see the concern. That's a lot of large hail, and I would not be shocked if we easily had hail in excess of 1 inch in diameter, maybe 1.5 inches in diameter. This could be $half sized hail. And that hail core is coming right down into Lamar County. And again, we've got our crew on the ground, and we've got the sky cams that will be able to kind of we'll watch this thing together as it comes in. No evidence of any tornado here. We stress we have no evidence of any rotation. There's no tornado here at this point. It's hail. That's the main concern here for the storm coming into Lamar. And that initially was the main concern through the day today. The lapse rates are steep. The air aloft is cold. The updrafts are rather robust. So again, let's, Ryan, put the Lamar County Sulligent Skycam back up here. That's on links 3, I think. We've got 3 links boxes. Yeah, that's a... JP, I don't know, can you zoom into that Sulligent Skycam by any chance? Do you have access to that over there? I want to take a look at the cloud base and just take a look at it, and that we've got a pretty good look at maybe a shelf cloud of the storm coming in. And we'll see if by chance there's anything there. So we'll take a closer look and we'll zoom into that. And again, we don't expect any tornado activity. We don't expect a wall cloud, but you never know. You know, one of my sayings when it comes to thunderstorms, expect the unexpected. And again, that's one of the things you learn in weather. My old friend Al Moeller, one of the legends in meteorology. Al passed away several years ago, but he would always preach that back in the 70s and 80s. You always expect the unexpected. And again, we don't expect a lot of tornado problems today. We did not this morning. We've not had any so far today. But yeah, JP, let's get zooming into that. Give us a pretty close look at that cloud base right there. And that's just a ragged cloud base. We're watching this together. And again, this is from one of our region sky cams. This is at Sulligent, which is in northern Lamar County. And again, we just don't see any evidence of rotation. We don't see any evidence of tornadoes. The concern is hail. So again, that's the camera will kind of stay focused on. And Drew, Kevin is, where was his exact location, did you say? And I might be able to talk with him if I put my earplug in here.
Last I saw was, I think, on Highway 43 there. And I was going to, Kevin, if you can hear us, feel free to turn yourself on and you can tell us where you are. We've got your feed up right now.
That might be Winfield. That might have been First Baptist Church of Winfield.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he definitely mentioned he was on 43, so that would make sense there.
Yeah, I do believe he just went right past. And I don't think, Kevin, can you hear us? If you can, say hello. And maybe he cannot hear us. But again,
I'm chatting with him right now, or I'm trying to see if he's hearing us, but I don't see anything yet.
He's in Winfield, yeah. So my hunch was correct. So again, this is a view coming from Kevin Henderson, who is in Winfield, and he's going to be cutting over into Lamar County for a view of the storm that's coming in with large hail. And understand, one of the things with drones, they're amazing. Kevin had the drone up earlier. We saw that amazing view that was over West Jefferson. You can't fly the drone in a tremendous downpour. It's very hard to do that. One of the things that we will do here, we're going to be safe. We're not going to put anybody in harm's way. We're not going to do anything that's not safe with drones or traffic or anything else. Safety comes first here. And again, that's exactly the way that Kevin operates and all of our chasers operate. And generally speaking, chasers do a good job. You got a few that think they can run traffic lights and do all this stuff. That doesn't work for me. Here, they're going to obey the traffic laws and keep everybody safe, and that's the way it's going to work here. And again, Kevin is certainly in a position to do that. Let's go back up to.
He was in Winfield, but I don't.
Yeah, he was clearly in Winfield. About 27 people just told me he's in Winfield.
Yeah.
A lot of people are watching. So let's go back to links 3 here. And JP, if you can zoom back out on that Sulligent camera, we're just going to get a wide view of that. And again, this is in Lamar County. And let's tilt it up a little bit so we can get a little better sky view. And again, I know it's going to be gray. It's a day today. We're just going to see a lot of gray and a lot of rain. But again, this is a view of that storm coming in from our sky cam at Sulligent. in Lamar County. And the hail core, Drew, how's the hail core looking to you?
It looks like it's not quite to the extent that it was earlier. You can see here, this was basically the area that had the hail core earlier. That's still back in Mississippi at this point. Kind of move it back just so you can kind of see the evolution of it. So yeah, just in the last 15 minutes or so, it was looking like that when we first looked at it there. But now you can see that hail core has come down quite a bit. Good chance what happened is that the hail fell to the ground at that point. So that's usually what's happening there, is that you're seeing the hail core collapse. And so now as it's approaching the radar site, I mean, the Columbus radar is about to take a direct hit from this storm. Hopefully it stays up, but that's a lot of lightning. And again, still potentially some hail trying to come in with that storm right on top of the radar. So hopefully we keep it as it heads on through there over the next few minutes. But yeah, the hail core on it looks like it's coming down. I'll go ahead and switch back over. Again, as we're getting closer to the radar, sometimes it can be harder to detect things. But yeah, you can certainly see with that hail detection product that as we move it through time up until the current time, it certainly starts to lose some of the integrity there of the hail product. So we'll see if it can start to rebuild a core here. It might be able to core. It may be able to cycle back up potentially, but at least right now, there's still plenty of lightning there for sure. So if you are in those areas, obviously if you're in Sulligent, you're getting really heavy rain right now already. But again, if you are in Lamar County, especially there right along the state line, you're going to be getting a lot of lightning and maybe still some small hail potentially coming up. But it certainly at least looks a little bit less imposing from that perspective than it did earlier. And still, as far as velocity is concerned, we're not seeing too much that's of too much concern at this point as far as any sort of velocity signatures. But it looks like some of those areas where you saw that heavier hail earlier, there is a little bit gustier winds there nearby. Again, could have seen a little bit of a downburst potentially as that hail came out of the storm there, James.
Right, and let's mention too that the warning has expired for Madison, Jackson, and Northern Marshall and was not extended. So at this point, the only warning we have in the whole state, it's this one. So again, if you are in Jackson or Northern Marshall or Southeastern Madison, that warning has expired. That storm is below severe limits. And again, I know it's thundering and lightning and pouring rain. It's a rough evening, but again, it's under severe limits. No large hail, no damaging wind. So the only warning we have in the state is this severe thunderstorm warning in effect for about the northern half of Lamar County. And again, this does not include Millport or Kennedy down here. It's Vernon, Sulligent, Detroit, this northern half of Lamar County. And really, it's for this segment that is across the line in Monroe County, Mississippi, and that will be crossing over into Lamar County. Of course, it's pouring right now. Again, you can see the Sulligent sky cam here where the rain is just tremendously falling. They've got 67 degrees with a dew point of 66, but look at the wind gust, 8 miles per hour. That's not severe. And again, the other good thing about the Skycam network is the fact that we have real-time live weather observations with all of these cameras. So as you see the live video, you're seeing live weather on top of that. For example, look at Troy, 81 degrees. With a dew point of 62. That feels like summer. That's coming from Pike County down in South Alabama. That's the diversity of weather we're having across the state today. In Sulligent, we're sitting at 67 degrees with a dew point of 66. But again, the good thing, we're seeing a peak wind gust of just 8 miles per hour. And I do believe we have a sky cam in Fayette County. Drew, correct me if I'm wrong.
We are. It's being. It's in process.
Okay, so it's not quite ready yet. JP, if you can change that to the University of Alabama Skycam in Tuscaloosa, I want to show that one up here in the top box, which will show that Tuscaloosa is getting some pretty heavy rain at this point. And again, I want to stress that we don't have any concern about severe storms at this point. But again, that's coming from the campus of the University of Alabama, thunder, lightning, but nothing severe. It is pouring rain. In fact, some of the heaviest rain is falling just to the south of Tuscaloosa. And again, we'll have to watch all these that form out ahead of that big rain mass, the big rain mass over North and West Alabama. No evidence of any rotation here. But again, it's just absolutely pouring. It's loud. It's obnoxious. But again, there's nothing to be concerned about at this point. These storms are clearly well below severe limits. as we're looking there at the campus of the University of Alabama. Let's go closer to Birmingham, just kind of talk about the Birmingham Metro, Drew. North of Birmingham, it's just raining. This is just good old-fashioned rain. Kimberly, Gardendale, Morris, Warrior, Cane Creek, Sayre, just rain. Coleman County, same thing, just rain. Now, Walker County, it's coming down. I mean, it is absolutely pouring here. North and west of Jasper, there's been an uptick in the amount of lightning, and really that's a situation where it's just really coming down here. But again, there's no evidence of any rotation, none, zero. Again, no concern with tornadoes here, just tremendous amounts of rain, thunder, and lightning. And most all of this, it is just a big rain mass that is outflow dominant. That's not overly concerning. Let's go up to the Huntsville, the northeast part of the state, Drew. And again, just a quick reminder that if you are in Scottsboro, you had that severe thunderstorm warning for this storm right here, but the warning has gone away, and that's the right thing. You just can't have a warning up if a storm's not severe, and the wind velocities have not been that bad. The hail has been very small, and again, that'll be coming out towards Scottsboro. Of course, it's pouring in Scottsboro now, and again, this is Lake Gunnersville right here on the Tennessee River, but again, so far, so good. And JP, maybe we can put that section camera real quick in the top box. Section is, again, it's a great camera location. Goodness gracious. It's right here looking back into the Tennessee River, back down towards Scottsboro. I love that view. That's incredible. Again, that's the view coming from the Skycam at Weathington Park in Section. It's just rain. Just a lot of rain. 65 degrees with a dew point of 63. And notice the wind, the current sustained wind, it's calm. It's just raining with no wind. The peak gust is 13. And Drew, how long do these gusts hold on this thing? You're our Barron engineer here.
I'm supposed to be just checking it, just every couple of minutes, basically. And so
that's within the last few minutes.
Yeah, that's what it generally should be, is the way I understand it.
Okay. But again, that's just a sign that for a lot of folks here, it's just raining. And quite frankly, again, for a state 76% in drought, that's a good thing. JP, let's go down to Albertville and Marshall County, and we're going to throw that one up real quick. And we're just kind of course, down below, you're going to see all the cameras that are rotating through. But this is in Marshall County. And again, 67, temperature dew point 63. Again, the peak wind gust 12 miles per hour. We can certainly handle that. That's good. All right, so 6:20, and we'll stay with this a little longer here. Understand we have no tornado warnings, and again, a lot of people when they see me and the suspenders, and you think, uh-oh, we got a tornado. No, we don't. At this point, we do not, and we hope we do not. That was never the main concern with the activity this evening. The main concern was large hail, and quite frankly, the storms have not really produced that much in the way of hail. These things have been very tame across Alabama. We've had thunder, lightning, heavy rain, some flooding. But again, so far, so good. South Alabama, things are looking good. The good news, the supercell that's down here south of Jackson, crossing Interstate 55, the tornado warning was replaced by a severe thunderstorm warning. So we have no tornado warnings anywhere in Alabama or Mississippi. And the sun goes down now in about 30 minutes. We're on daylight saving time. And once we get the sun down, the air cools and becomes a bit more stable, and this stuff will just settle down even more in coming hours. And the watch is in effect until 10. But it just looks like for the moment, we'll get away without too many major headaches here tonight. Keep in mind, as you look at this, we have another chance of severe storms Wednesday night. And that will be the next focus. But we really need to get this stuff out of here. Then we can focus on the Wednesday night threat. So again, let's take a closer look at the activity across North Alabama. And we have one warning, and that's it. One. And it's right here for the storm that is coming into western Lamar County out of Monroe County, Mississippi. And JP, let's go back to Sulligent, which is one of our Lamar County cameras, to get a better look at that particular storm. And again, just a lot of rain. And Drew, it looked a lot more impressive 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, it did, James. Certainly, the hail has not ramped back up quite yet. It looks like, maybe they're just to the east of Greenwood Springs, right as it's approaching the state line. It still looks like there could be some hail there. Good to see that so far, so good on keeping the Columbus radar up and running. I will note that it just appears that here recently that the Weather Service kind of amended the warning here to no longer include, it looks like Sullivan's actually not in the polygon anymore with this. The northern part of Lamar County is not in the warning that has been kind of extended there into Alabama by the Weather Service in Birmingham. So Vernon's still in it, Crossville's still in it. Again, and that's probably because you've got this area here that is the stronger part of that thunderstorm that might have the hail, has lots of lightning, and it's looking like it's kind of going to the south of Sullivan at this point. I'll put a quick lapse on it there. Yeah, you can see it's kind of diving down towards the southeast, and so that's part of the reason I think that they went ahead and kind of cut that off a little bit on the northern side of the warning. But again, just looking at the hail, it's still picking up a little bit there, but it's certainly not looking anything like it did probably in the last 20 minutes. So it's possible that we could see a little hail core form again, but it's definitely not looking quite as rough as it did there for a little bit, where I would say there's a decent chance it was dropping at least a lot of hail, if not large hail. But again, I don't see any evidence of that right now. Looking at the velocity product here, we'll just take a quick sampling of the winds. Again, we're really close. We'll be able to see the winds that we'll sample here are going to be very close to the ground because the radar's right there. So we'll see what we get with any of that. But yeah, it looks like we're getting up maybe 30, 40 miles per hour, possibly there near the radar. And again, that's going to be just within a few hundred feet off the ground. Looks like maybe 44 miles per hour there, just getting close to the state line. That appears to be one of the spots that has a little bit more wind there. Just right
go
before
to Jasper, Drew.
You get to the state line. Go to Jasper?
Yeah, just take a look at Jasper from my BMX. Let's get your thoughts on that.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah, that one looks a little interesting. So that one looks like we're definitely starting to get some rotation there, and the lightning has ticked up. Again, on this one, I don't think this one was producing as much lightning previously. Yeah, starting to kind of pick up, and you're certainly starting to see a little bit of a tighter circulation. So that's one we definitely need to watch there, James.
Yeah, so again, the rotation is clearly ramped up over Walker County at Jasper in the last few minutes, and no tornado warning at this point, but the rotation is clearly increased here. And again, if these storms can hit some kind of a boundary where the low-level winds back around to the southeast, that can put the updrafts into motion and sometimes produce a little small tornado that gets down for a few minutes. And so again, we've got rotation now in Jasper. And let's see, I think we've got Chris Mann and Krista Pitchford, Chris Pitch around Warrior. Is that their stream, Drew?
You've got Chris up right now.
Okay, and he's at one of those traffic roundabouts. I'm very dyslexic. Those things are confusing to a guy with dyslexia. And they've got 3 of them at that Hayden exit. It's like my eyes get like Captain Crunch eyes. But again, so I'm hearing somebody here. Is this Chris Pitch?
I believe you're hearing Chris Mann.
Oh, hey, Chris, where are you right now?
I turned around leaving Warrior, headed southbound on 65. I'm going to post up at Kimberly and see if I can just stay south of that storm that you're eyeballing on the radar. Saw the broad rotation in Jasper, so I'm going to head down to Kimberly, stay south, and then post facing north-northwest.
Okay, Chris, thank you. This by far is the most interesting storm of the moment in the state. Again, we've got the storm that is rotating at Jasper. Again, we have no warning at this point. Again, we'll watch it for a couple of volume scans and see if it tightens up. But again, this is a storm that is showing pretty good rotation at Jasper in Walker County. Let's see, we've got, this is from the Weather Service in Birmingham. We've received a number of storm-related damage reports east of the Haleyville Airport, that's Posey Field, involving trees and structures. The EMA is on the scene, and they will provide more information as possible. But that was along a Boeing arc that came through, and whether or not a small tornado formed, it's to be determined. So again, we've got reports of some structural damage now from Haleyville. And that's when we had that severe thunderstorm warning in effect earlier this afternoon. If you recall, we had a storm that was near Hackleburg, came through Bear Creek, came through Haleyville. Again, you can see that polygon right there. That's when that damage occurred. So Again, reports of structural damage at just east of the airport in Haleyville involving trees and structures. And again, Winston County EMA is on the scene, and they will provide reports as they can. All right, so let's go back to our Jasper storm, and we'll take a look at the velocity display. Probably some small hail is falling north of that rotation up here between Jasper and Curry. And again, the circulation is now east of downtown Jasper. This is Highway 69. There's Boldo. That goes up toward Bug Tussle. This is old US 78, which is now technically Alabama Highway 5. And there's Interstate 22 right down here. So that broad rotation in Jasper is just east of downtown Jasper that's moving to the east. And again, with every volume scan, we'll watch it with interest to see if this tightens up or if it goes away. But again, there's no formal warning in effect here, just something we're watching very carefully. And again, we're watching Chris Mann's live stream up in the top box, and he's going to be in a position to intercept this as it crosses over into Jefferson County, or maybe Western Blunt. We'll see where he winds up here. So again, we'll kind of watch that stream together. But that clearly is the most interesting rotational signature of the day. We've had a number of these over the afternoon hours. We've had this broad rotation from time to time. But again, that's clearly perhaps the most interesting one that we have seen so far. The lightning is ramped up a little bit here as well. And again, explain that product, Drew, this rotation detector. To kind of explain that for those that have not seen that before.
Yeah, this product is a product our friends at Barron up in Huntsville, they basically take the velocity data and try to kind of massage it in a way that makes it a little bit easier to digest for non-meteorologists. So it's basically creating kind of a bullseye of where there's the potential for rotation, yes, but a lot of times it's also going to be, if you think about when we look at rotation, we're looking at inbound and outbound wind, so that we have wind coming in two different directions, and you kind of get this rotational effect that you're seeing in the radar coming in two different directions. Well, this basically, if you have really high wind velocity, so the wind speeds are high, and if you have those high wind speeds that are moving moving in opposite directions really close together in space, it creates a higher value of this product here. And so it can be triggered by rotation, by tornadoes, but it also can show effects when you have straight line winds as well, because you'll have a wind gradient usually with straight line winds too. So yeah, it's got multiple uses, but sometimes it can make it easy, a little bit easier in some cases, to see through the noise of some noisy radar data and pick up on some features that we may want to watch as far as wind is concerned there, James.
All right, so again, we just had a public report that came in through social media. Unreal lightning in Jasper and rapid rotation in Jasper. And again, that's with this right here, what we're seeing here together. But he's reporting unreal lightning, and obviously it's popping. When you see all these little icons here so clustered together, that is a tremendous amount of lightning in a very short space here. But we've heard of no damage from this. And again, everybody's watching it very carefully, including the Weather Service in Birmingham. But I think if we would have a tornado, it would probably be, we get all kind of reports. And there was some damage in Jasper from Saturday, the storms that we worked Saturday evening. Some stronger winds, not tornadic winds, did some damage at Posey's, the hardware place at 269 and 69 in the southern part of Jasper Saturday. That was just strong thunderstorm winds. But again, we've heard of no damage with this in Walker County. And Bill, there's a pile of UGC videos and images, and if you want to show some of those, or have we got that fixed yet, Ryan? Do we know? Okay. So again, Bill, when you're ready with that, just let us know. I've seen some flooding issues. I see all kind of images over here on the open socials here, so we'll get to those here in just a second. So again, we are at 6:31, and we are watching broad rotation. And Brian Falls, one of our sky watchers, he monitors the scanner traffic, and he says no reports from Walker 911, none, zero, which is a really good thing. And again, hopefully this just stays broad, no tornado, and it just goes on by. But again, that's one spot we're watching. Let's go back to our storm that is coming into Lamar very quickly, Drew, if we can. And I do believe that the warning is still there until 6:45. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yes,
Yep,
6:45. And again, they've trimmed the polygon down. And again, you can see that it's basically including Vernon and the southern part of Sulligent here for this storm here that is capable of producing some pretty good-sized hail. This produced some really large hail, like Toyota-sized hail back in Monroe County, Mississippi. It's weakened a little bit. The hail size is not as intense as it was earlier, but still this could produce some decent-sized hail coming down through Lamar County. And understand we've got another segment of very heavy rain here, but there's no evidence of rotation, none whatsoever. And again, these are wind velocities within the radar beam coming from the Columbus Air Force radar site, which is not that far away. And again, you've got 30, 36, 34 at radar beam height. So the main concern here, it's hail. That's the reason for that warning. And this is the only warning in the state. It's this one for central Lamar County, for this segment right here, for the storm that's coming down toward Vernon. So we'll keep an eye on that. But let's go back to Walker County. And again, we'll see how the rotation is doing here. Just got a report of a green sky near Jasper, which sometimes can represent the fact that there's some hail involved. That hail can make for that appearance. And I would imagine there's hail falling right here up toward Boldo. That's on Highway 69. Yeah, so I think we probably have some hail falling in the northern part of this. Let's go back to the reflectivity, or I'm sorry, the velocity, and see what that looks like. And it's still very broad. Again, Drew's kind of backed it up, and you can see what it's looked like over the past couple of volume scans. And again, it has been broad for the entire duration of its life cycle through Walker County so far. We hope it stays that way. And again, just to get your bearings straight, that's Interstate 65 right here. So this is Interstate 65, broad rotation, kind of moving maybe south of due east, and if that's the case, it might wind up in northern Jefferson. This is Bagley, Sayre, Corner, Cane Creek, and Warrior here. These communities up in the northwestern part of Jefferson County. So Sipsey, Empire, Summerton, Dora. Drew, what's right here? What landmark would be right there? He's not going to say it.
I'm afraid. I think I know where you're going, but I don't want to say.
No, don't. We're not going to go there.
You can just say the front part of it.
You're only allowed to say.
No, we've had enough of that. But that's the Walker-Jefferson County line. And I will say, I'm going to be at Bevel State here in, I want to say, about 10 days. Looking forward to being at Bevel State. That'll be a lot of fun at Summerton. Tremendous ACCS college, amazing things they do there. So again, we're watching this storm that is currently coming out of Walker County, moving in the direction of northern Jefferson with broad rotation right there. And again, we got a whole lot of sources here. And again, this is from Gerald Satterwhite, and I totally agree with Gerald. He said the rotation structure is not quite to the level of triggering a tornado warning. Pea-sized hail has been reported, and the amount of lightning has increased. They're watching it like a hawk. We're watching it like a hawk. You're watching it like a hawk. But again, the problem is if you issue warning after warning after warning for tornadoes that are not down, then nobody pays attention. It's crying wolf. And the Weather Service in Birmingham really leads the nation in a low false alarm ratio. That's thanks to Kevin Laws. Kevin is the Science Operations Officer, and the program he's put in at Birmingham is unbelievably good. Low false alarms, high probability of detection. That's what you want. High POD, low FAR, and man, they have achieved that. But again, that rotation is now well to the east of Jasper. And again, it'll be coming out towards Sipsey, Empire, Dora, Summerton, Bagley, Corner up here. This is the county line right here, that zigzag line. This is Walker, this is Jefferson. And the reason we're focusing on this, there's no warning, and again, we're just watching it very carefully, and that's what we do in the weather business here. But again, that broad rotation will ultimately be cutting out into northern Jefferson. And we do have spotters in the field. We've got Kevin Henderson out, and we've got Chris Mann out. We have Krista Pitchford out in the field this evening, and we thank them for their service. And Chris, if you can hear me, you pulled over. Kind of tell us, if you can hear me at all, tell us where you are. And I'm not so sure. Yeah, there he is. Good.
Yeah, James, I just stopped off 65 and Barber Road, just south of Morris. I'm facing northwest about right now, just kind of waiting for this cell to.
Okay.
To see where it's going to end up.
Okay, good deal. So thank you, Chris. So Chris is right here. And there's that rotation that's kind of moving south of due east. And again, if anything holds together, he'll be in a good position to intercept that at this particular point. So again, we're just going to keep an eye on that. But let's do a quick reset. Let's look at the northern half of the state with reflectivity, Drew. For those of you that are watching in the Tennessee Valley, I know the weather's not good. Lake Guntersville, Scottsboro, Gurley, New Hope, Grant, it's pouring. But remember, heavy rain doesn't make a storm severe. All storms have creepy clouds. All storms have heavy rain and lightning and thunder. But there's nothing to indicate anything severe here. This is all outflow dominant. Rain, thunder, lightning, nothing severe. The one warning we only have one warning in the whole state, and it's right there. This is for central Lamar County for the storm that's at Vernon, for the possibility of large hail. So again, the one warning is over here for central Lamar for the possibility of large hail at Vernon. That's moving in the general direction of Fayette. We'll see how that thing holds up. Let's see, so we've got...
That's Krista Pitchford, just by the way. That's up in the chaser window there now on the top right.
Okay.
Got her up there now.
Krista, can you hear us? Don't know if we can talk with Krista.
Yeah, I know. I saw that she was going to be around Kimberly as well.
Okay. Again, we're thankful for all of our chasers in the field. And on a big, high-impact severe weather day, we're going to have a lot of chasers in the field. But we're thankful on a day like today that we have so many out. Here's a report from Boldo. Tim Thomas, he is with Walker County 911. Very strong winds, very heavy rain, no hail. And that's pretty close to that area of rotation. So again, Drew, let's go back and focus in on that rotating area that's in Walker County, east of Jasper. And it's obviously come through Jasper. It's come through the eastern part of Walker County. And again, you can see that the history of this thing, the wind velocities are not that extreme. You want to see the greens a little brighter, the reds a little brighter, but no doubt that the storm itself is spinning like a top. But that doesn't mean there's a tornado down. And again, that broad rotation is coming out in the vicinity of Sipsey and Empire. This is old US 78 right here. For old timers, this has always been US 78. Now it's technically Alabama Highway 5. When they built the new Corridor X, US 78 moved down here, which is now Interstate 22 in US 78. So technically that's Highway 5, but that's the old US 78 right there. And you can see that circulation is right on Highway 5. Cordova, Barton's Chapel right here. Argo, not the Argo in St. Clair County. This is the Argo in Walker County. And there's the river right there. And so far, so good with this. And again, I just think the Weather Service is correct in that we do not have a formal tornado warning for that particular storm. But we're watching it like a hawk. Everybody else is as well. Can we go to Kevin's live stream? I noticed that it looks like he's, I want to say Kevin is near Fayette. Kevin, can you hear us? And if you can, where are you?
Yeah, James, I can hear you. I am in Fayette.
Okay, so you are in Fayette.
Yes, correct. Right off of, what is this, Highway 43.
Okay, US 43 in Fayette.
Just north.
Okay.
A little on the north side.
Okay. I have been in that Dollar General. If you want to learn about life, you go talk with people in a Dollar General. That's where they hang out. So again, yep, that's it. I have been there. And again, the weather is just horrible where Kevin is. But again, the storm that has prompted this warning in Lamar County will be coming over Kevin's location here soon. And again, we'll kind of see what that looks like. But again, you can just see it's just raining. For so many of you, it's just good old-fashioned rain. I mean, what you see is what you get. And the lightning will be picking up with that segment coming in from Lamar County. So Kevin's going to give us a walking tour there. That's good. Looks like the Exxon station, Dollar General. He's up there north of downtown Fayette, up toward the airport and the hospital in Bevel State, the Bevel State campus in Fayette. There's the McDonald's. Everybody knows where that is. We know exactly where he is right now. And again, Kevin is going to catch that line segment as it comes in from Lamar County on the ground in downtown Fayette. And again, we've got Krista Pitchford and Chris Mann. They're going to be intersecting this broad rotation coming out of Walker County. So, Drew, let's go back to the Walker County storm. And in every volume scan, we're greatly interested to see how this thing behaves. So we'll go back to the Birmingham radar and look at this storm that is approaching Sipsey and Empire. And it's still broad. That's not a tornado signature. Quite frankly, it looked a lot better coming through Jasper, but now it's much broader. So again, we have broad rotation. This is not a tornado signature, broad rotation around Barton's Chapel, Argo, along Highway 5. That'll be coming out towards Sipsey, Empire, and then crossing into either western Blount or northern Jefferson. This is the western boot heel of Blount County. Bill Murray used to live over here. Who lived up here? Right here where I'm pointing. He did morning television for 37 years. Country Boy Eddie, yeah. Eddie, of course, he passed away several years ago. The greats have passed away, but those people that paved the way for us, he was one of them. And Eddie was a great friend. Eddie Burns. He did a local country morning show for 37 years. And one of my memories was doing the Eddie show the morning after the blizzard of '93. For the first time ever, Eddie could not get in. He couldn't get out. And Bill Bolin and I hosted the Country Boy Eddie show. That was the worst hour of local television ever. It was really, really bad. So again, this is, we're watching in the top box. Again, this is Kevin Henderson that is in Fayette. And the storm from Lamar County is going to be coming in. And we'll just kind of watch that together. We'll see what it looks like in Fayette. And obviously it's pouring rain. The weather is not good. But really there's a couple of heavier, this is not the storm that's in Lamar County. This is one that's out ahead of that. But so far everything just seems to be outflow dominant, which is really good. And the signature on the Sipsey Empire Cordova thing, it just looks like a wind thing as I'm looking at it here, Drew. I don't see any evidence of a tornado at this point. And if you excuse me, I've got to go start Weather Brains. Yep. I will let you take it for a couple of minutes, and I will be right back. We have too many programs going on at the same time here. So I'll be right back. Drew, the floor belongs to you, sir.
All right, thanks, James. Yeah, we'll continue to watch things here. And as James has mentioned, thankfully, at this point, this particular storm here that has moved east of Jasper at this point and moving towards northwestern Jefferson County, it does not look as strong as it did earlier. We can even look at the lightning strikes here. So the lightning strikes, the number you see up here is the amount of lightning strikes that we're seeing in this camera view basically over the last 3 minutes. So as you can see, we move it back a little bit further. There's 49 strikes. So it looks like it topped out maybe probably about 20 minutes ago with 50-something strikes there as it was near Jasper. And then now if we go to current time, it's still 34 strikes in the last 3 minutes, but they also appear to be a little bit more spread out. They were more clustered around the core of the storm earlier. Now I'm seeing a few more just kind of in surrounding areas. So definitely the storm doesn't look like it's as wound up as it was previously, which we always like to see that. Looking at the reflectivity as well, it just doesn't look quite as strong. And I'd say it had a little bit more of a hell core to the north side of it near Boldo earlier. You still do have some high reflectivity there showing up. but it doesn't look probably quite as strong as it did previously. Looking at the hail swath here, and it's definitely still detecting some hail within the thunderstorm, and there could be some small hail falling here potentially, but don't see any evidence that it's going to be really large hail or maybe really large amounts of hail, which is what we saw with some of those storms that we were watching a week before last. Again, just taking a look here, not necessarily seeing any reports from that particular storm here, just kind of scrolling through. And feel free, Bill, if you've got anything or if you've got any reports that you've seen.
I can jump in anytime.
Okay. Well, we'll take a look at this a little bit more, then I'll let you kind of take a look at a few things here for a second. But yeah, this, again, not looking as suspicious as it's approaching northwestern Jefferson County at this point, but we will continue to monitor that here. Again, I'm just kind of switching through some of our different products here. Yeah, it doesn't look as strong in that rotation detector product that we looked at earlier as well. So those are all good signs as it's moving down towards Jefferson County. And again, this storm has not had a warning on it. It's had some special weather statements here and there, which is kind of the level below a warning when you've got a strong thunderstorm, but you don't actually have a severe criteria warning. Now, looking back towards the west, it looks like we've got that warning expired there that was in Lamar County. So now it appears that the Weather Service has decided to not continue that warning further towards the east into Fayette County. But as we mentioned, of course, we've got Kevin Henderson, who's right there seeing that strong storm move through. And I think when we had his camera up earlier, you could see the wind kind of whipping through that gas station and some sheets of rain there and a few strikes of lightning. And again, looking at the lightning with this storm, it's looking like in the vicinity of this storm, it's about 30 strikes here in the last 30 minutes or so. We're going to kind of do a similar thing with this one. Let me switch our radar sites to something more appropriate. The closer one here. So yeah, previously you had a little bit more lightning with this storm as well. And again, this was the one that, if you recall, a little while ago back in Mississippi, had some big looking hail most likely that was falling back in Mississippi. Now, however, it's continued to maintain a lot less of a signature as far as hail is concerned, and so that's a good thing. But you definitely see plenty of heavy rain still, a good bit of lightning. Looking at the velocity, again, we don't see any necessarily severe level of velocity, but I'll do a few pixel queries of that real quick. We'll go ahead and just throw up our menu here. I can pull that up over here, just kind of do it right there on the touchscreen. So again, yeah, we've got maybe close to 40 miles per hour in a few spots there. And again, this is probably a couple thousand feet off the ground at this point. So again, we don't necessarily expect to have the same level of winds there right at the surface. And it looks like now we've got Kevin's feed pulled up again in the top right, and still seeing a good bit of lightning there for sure. But it looks like the wind maybe has died down a little bit from what it was when the cell was just kind of moving into Fayette. And it looks like, again, that the heaviest winds there now have started to move to the east of Fayette at this point. Again, along 43 as it heads towards Bankston there. It looks like somewhere the heavier winds there are just to the east side of Fayette. Again, we'll just kind of cycle through some of our products here. And again, we don't see much on this product, on our shear product or our rotation detector product necessarily either. So again, that's good to see. So again, right now, let me just kind of reset to the state view again here. As of this moment, we are severe thunderstorm warning free. So that is definitely a good development here as we continue to watch things here. I am seeing, though, some evidence from some of our sky watchers up in the northeastern side of the state that we've got some activity going on there. So it looks like there's some report of some pea-sized hail near Gunnersville. That was just in the last few minutes. Also, Daniel Harbin and Trenton is reporting that ditches are full of rain along 72 around Gurley. And so let me go ahead and we'll take a quick look up that direction off the high top radar. And yeah, you can definitely still see that we have some intense activity there, even though we don't have any warnings anywhere in the state, or obviously in this area. You still do have a good bit of lightning there in the southern part of Jackson County, and some heavy rain as well. So it certainly makes some sense there that we'd be seeing some of that. And let's take a look at, all right, so there's Gunnersville right there. got the report of pea-sized hail. We'll kind of zoom in real quick to that. And again, this doesn't look like a really rough hail core, but you can see right there a few scans ago, just kind of to the southwest of Guntersville, along Highway 79 there, State Road 79. Just to the west of that is where you had, looks like maybe a small hail core that pushed through towards the kind of the southern end of Guntersville. Take a look at our hail product here. And again, it's not showing a whole lot. So usually in that kind of case, again, you're probably seeing pretty small hail, maybe not a lot of hail. There's oftentimes where and we saw this just in the last, over the weekend, where you can have times where you have small hail mixed in with rain. So it's not extremely significant, but you've got some hail still there. But yeah, some very heavy rain, and obviously enough to start to fill the ditches in parts of the US 72 area. So again, we're talking about near Gurley earlier. And again, this isn't the heaviest rain that Daniel Harbin, where he's reporting some of those ditches filling with rain, but you still have fairly moderate rain in those areas, and you had heavier rain that moved through earlier. And so, yeah, you can certainly see there back just in the last 30, 45 minutes that you had some really heavy rain, and the rain, at least a good steady clip of rain has continued in those areas. So let's take a quick look at our accumulation product that we've been looking at here for the last 3 hours. Yeah, so it's not showing quite as much there as some of those areas further back to the west, but you see a few little pockets there of that yellow, which generally gets you over 2 inches, not too far away. And even if you haven't had a ton overall over the course of a longer period of time, if you just get a really short burst of some very heavy rain, it obviously can fill up those ditches. Yeah, so I guess, Bill, do you have anything you want to show with UGC or any reports that you're seeing there in any of the chats or anything like that?
Yeah, I've been patiently collecting lots of stuff over here, so I'll kind of group it together. This is flooding from Rogersville from a little earlier, Drew, and the flash flooding was really significant there. That's when those really heavy rainfall rates were occurring in that area. We have several pictures from Rogersville. Thanks to everyone who sent these in, but you can see a really clear example of the instruction: turn around, don't drown, for sure here, because you can see the rainfall has really collected in that area. Lightning, of course, has been very intense as well. This image right here from Belk in Fayette County a little bit earlier today. And of course, we've had our share of creepy looking clouds. This is from Sulligent a little bit earlier when that strong storm was moving into Lamar County. That cloud right there was pretty impressive. Vanessa Sanchez in Tuscaloosa captured these images of the clouds as they were moving into the Northport area earlier. And Valerie Hughes caught this beautiful drone video just a few minutes ago as this storm was moving into the Tuscaloosa area. And very stunning video, but that kind of gives us an idea of what it looks like there. Beautiful structure on that storm. And this picture right here, you'll catch it if you look real closely. A very impressive cloud to ground lightning strike occurs as she's recording that video. And then this video right here from Boldo in Walker County, just really intense lightning. We were getting several reports of almost continuous lightning and very strong winds. But the good news is that Brian Falls, who's maintaining our scanner watch this afternoon and evening, was reporting no reports from Walker County 911 from weather-related calls. So that's important, as we were watching that system just spin like a top as it moved through Walker County. Here's some flooding from Gewin in Marion County from just a little bit ago. That was showing some of the heavy rain in that area. And then after the storms are moving through, this is a beautiful example of some Amatus clouds from the Florence area. And that's that sinking air on the backside of these thunderstorms, but it produces some extremely dramatic images, and that's beautiful. And I'll take your breath away with this one right here, which is this double rainbow right here from Loretto, Tennessee, that I thought was stunning. And one more that I'll show you of a beautiful rainbow that's very intense from near Florence, right in the wake. And somebody captured this funny video, and since he's in there starting weather brains, I'll show it right now. Captured that video, James, just a few minutes ago, and I'll end with that, Drew.
Nice. I hope they don't do that to me. That's that's good stuff. But yeah, so looking back at the storm we were talking about a few minutes ago, there we're looking at some of the heavier cells there that are starting to move into, still kind of in, I guess, southern Jackson County, about to move into DeKalb County here just in the next few minutes. But definitely seeing a little bit of intensification, a little bit of lightning uptick there in around near section. Now, I think we may not be pointing in that direction, but JP, if you could pull up the section camera there, wanted to see if we could get that up on links 3, just to see. I know it's probably just socked in rain at this point, but yeah, so you can see there that looks like it's mainly just we're in the clouds basically, but this cell is very close to that. So again, the camera's kind of up in this area there, right overlooking the Tennessee River from Sand Mountain, and this is kind of back towards to the southeast of that. But I know what, yeah, there you go. Getting some good lightning with it. You're definitely seeing good lightning strikes, and it does look like there may be a little bit of a hail core there just to the south of section. So if you're in that area just south of section, up on Sand Mountain, you're about to get a pretty heavy cell coming through there. You're getting heavy rain right now. If you're in places like Rainsville, Sylvania, might get a little bit heavier, might get a little bit of hail with that coming up here just in the next few minutes. Also, the wind looks like it might have intensified a little bit here recently as well. So again, here's a look at the velocity product. Again, we'll take a few queries here. So we're getting 44 miles an hour or so. Looks like one of the higher values we're getting here. So again, this isn't severe level winds. And again, we don't have a severe thunderstorm warning on this at this point. But I will say an interesting little phenomenon that we sometimes see with these storms. I don't know for sure if that's happening here or not, but just right along here, you've got, I'll just kind of draw a quick line here. So basically that's roughly the edge of Sand Mountain. And what I'm seeing here, and again, it may not be exactly this, but it does look like as the storm or as that higher velocity gets over the edge of Sand Mountain, it might have intensified just a little bit there. And we do sometimes see some of that right there on that kind of western edge of Sand Mountain. They sometimes will call it Sand Mountain magic. That's part of the reason I think that you get we've had a rough tornado history, unfortunately, up on Sand Mountain. And there's been research that UAH has done on some of that, and it looks like we're getting some pretty good lightning there in section there. Bill, you got something else?
Yeah, Drew, getting a report that the sirens are being sounded in Alabaster, and there's no tornado warning there, obviously, no severe thunderstorm warning even, but if that is true, it, I guess, could be just a precautionary measure to let people that might be outdoors know that the storms are moving into that area, but maybe it's an accident or a malfunction.
Yeah, that kind of seems likely at this point. I mean, yes, it does look like there is, and we actually do have a camera there in Alabaster, JP. If you wanted to pop that one up on links 3, we could see what's showing up there. But yeah, I mean, I would say that at this point it looks like it's just some heavy rain.
New severe thunderstorm warning, Tuscaloosa and Fayette.
All right, so we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning, but it's not for
that storm.
Alabaster. So again, yes, there's a heavy cell there moving towards Alabaster if you're hearing that siren. But yeah, we look at the storm winds just real quick, just to kind of ease your mind. We're not seeing any issues there with that. So hopefully they'll get that figured out and get that turned off here fairly soon. So let's go take a look at, we've got a new severe thunderstorm warning, you said, for Tuscaloosa. Is that also for parts of Fayette as well, Bill?
That's right. It goes until 8 o'clock. It is for northwestern Tuscaloosa and southern Fayette.
All right. Yep. So I can see it's right here. The polygon has not popped into the system quite yet, but this is one that we were watching earlier. This is one that Kevin was sitting at the gas station for. It looks like it's intensified a little bit here in recent scans. Again, this was the one that came from Mississippi, had the big hail with it earlier. Still not seeing the same kind of hail signature there that we saw with it earlier, but it looks like the velocity has started to ramp up a little bit here just to the south of Bankston here, right along, it looks like an intersection of Alabama Highway 13 and US 43. There again, just kind of to the west or southwest of Berry. Looks like you've got some heavier winds there. take a few queries of those real quick. And yeah, we're starting to see some a little bit higher gusts there with this system. And so that's why they went ahead and issued that severe thunderstorm warning. So again, let's kind of take a quick look at who is included in that warning. So kind of in the immediate vicinity of it, as we already mentioned, Barry, you're right there. You're in the severe thunderstorm warning polygon. New Lexington, you're in it as well. Newtonville, you're kind of in the very edge of it, but I'd say most of the storm, you'll get a little bit of heavy rain, but the threat area of the storm, I'd say, is going to go to the north of you. But as we continue to kind of zoom in and look around here, so again, kind of Bankston, Barry, that far southern and eastern part of Fayette County, and then again, that far northern sliver of Tuscaloosa County, which would include Wyndham Springs there along Highway 69, Whitson as well. You're within the polygon, and again, kind of going all the way over to the county line with the far kind of southwestern tip of Jefferson County, and it looks like it's not including anywhere in Walker County at this point. It looks like it'll probably kind of dive sort of south of there, but it looks like a storm that has kind of picked up in intensity there just a little bit. And James, you ready to go?
We're back. We're juggling several balls in the air tonight. Weather Brains is underway. That's our weekly show, Monday nights at 7 o'clock. So they're underway. Obviously, I can't participate tonight, but it's going to be a really good one. If you like weather, it's all about the Storm Prediction Center. We've got Bill Bunting from SPC, Evan Bentley on the show, and again, you can listen to that later on the audio podcast version. So the one warning we have working here, it is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect now for southeastern Fayette County and northern Tuscaloosa County. This includes New Lexington, Barry, Samantha, Wyndham Springs. This is all north of Tuscaloosa. This is all east of Fayette. That's for that line segment here. And again, I want to look at the BMX version of this if we can, Drew, coming out of Birmingham. Get another look at that. And again, we got some pretty good inbounds there. So again, we've seen evidence of some higher wind velocities in here. And I still want to go back and look at the Walker-Jefferson County line, look at that little segment, that rotation we've been watching right in here. And again, that's still broad. It has been hanging in there like a hair in a biscuit, but it's broad. And it's not tight like a tornado. And again, that broad circulation is moving toward Morris, Kimberly, and Warrior. Just be aware of that. We're watching it like a hawk. With that, you'll see some strong gusty winds, a ramp up in lightning, and that little feature will be crossing Interstate 65 pretty soon. But again, no tornado warning. This is no warning at all, in fact, for northern Jefferson. This is just a storm that is under severe criteria. That is, we don't have 58-mile-per-hour winds, and we don't have 1-inch diameter hail. But again, that's the JP. Are you moving that sky cam? Is that you or? Okay, I don't know who's moving our camera. Is that the magic moving camera by itself?
I wonder if John's.
All right. Yeah, we need to let JP control. We'll let JP do the camera views.
Yeah, he's looking back more to the north-northeast. The storm in question is more back to the north-northwest.
Yeah, let's give JP control here, and we'll move it back to the northwest. Again, that's almost due north. That's from the north end zone of Bryant-Denny Stadium. There we go. That's great. Keep it going that way, JP. A little more to the northwest, about right there. That's going to be the direction of approach if it affects the city of Tuscaloosa. So again, this is the rotation near Bagley Corner, Sayre. And again, this is broad, not tornadic circulation, broad circulation coming in toward northern Jefferson. But let's go back to our camera. Let's go back to the storm on radar, Drew, that is prompting this warning. And I want to mention a few reports that have come in. I noticed, in fact, let me go to our Skywatcher chat, and maybe Bill's had a chance to mention this. We've had a report of a person being struck by lightning. This is coming from Centerpoint Fire EMS. That is in the northeast part of the Birmingham Metro. That happened about 6:45 So far, we're getting no reports from North Jefferson. Jefferson County 9-1 is quiet. So again, but this is pretty good wind here. It's coming right into Berry, New Lexington right here. That's US 43. That's Alabama 171. That's the main road from Northport to Fayette. This is US 43 coming up from Samantha. And again, these are inbound velocities here at 57 miles per hour. And again, this is not at ground level. This is at radar beam height. But again, pretty impressive winds probably down at the surface, and that's the reason the Weather Service has issued this severe thunderstorm warning. That's Alabama Highway 18 right there from Berry back over to Corona and Oakman. This is Walker County here. This is Fayette County. This is Tuscaloosa County. And again, this segment, the higher wind, it's moving to the southeast. And let's expand this. Let's show the city of Tuscaloosa in relation to this, because a lot of times people have the older legacy systems. So this is not even close to Tuscaloosa. There's the area of higher wind moving southeast. That's going to affect North Tuscaloosa County, Wyndham Springs, Samantha, Berry, New Lexington. This will not affect the city of Tuscaloosa, at least this line segment. Of course, everybody's got rain, everybody's got thunder, everybody's got lightning. But the reason for the warning here, that is a segment that is coming down into northern Tuscaloosa County. Goodness gracious, JP, that's incredible. Look at the Albertville lightning. Yeah. Wow. This is up here. You see our camera that's on Sand Mountain at Albertville, and they're obviously getting a tremendous amount of cloud-to-ground lightning here. And you can see that ramp up that's in this segment from Rainsville, which is in DeKalb County near Fort Payne, then curving down through Geraldine and southern Marshall County, Albertville here, Boaz here, and that's dropping to the south. And again, we're not seeing any sign of any tornadic circulation here. This is just a nasty thunderstorm, but that lightning output is tremendous coming from the Regions Skycam at Albertville. And again, all of these views that you see over here, they're live. Bill, go ahead.
Yeah, James, from Chris Gardner, Skywatcher, overturned 18-wheeler on Highway 13 south in Fayette County near the Tuscaloosa County line. So that's probably a strong wind report there, and indicative of what we're seeing on the radar.
Yeah, that's very meaningful. So again, we're getting report of an overturned 18-wheeler on Highway 13 south near the Tuscaloosa County line. And again, that's US 43. What happens, 43 and 13 kind of split off here, but that would be down in through this segment right in through here. So at some point, apparently there's an overturned 18-wheeler. And again, you can see that's right corresponding with those higher wind velocities. So again, thanks to Chris Gardner, one of our sky watchers, for that report. And again, we thank all of the sky watchers for the reports that have been coming in this evening. They are extremely helpful, and that it gives us a feel for what's happening out in the real world. All right, let's go back to our storm at Kimberly. And if we can, do we have one of our storm chasers at this storm? Let's go to the velocity and look at Birmingham. Still pretty noisy here. So who's up here, Drew? Do we know which one of our chasers? I know that we had Krista Pitchford nearby.
Yeah, Krista, but I think she may have dropped out. Let's see if we've got Chris.
We've got Chris Mann, who is also in that area. And again, we will...
yeah, Chris's feed looks like it's not currently up.
Okay.
Kevin's up. He's on the Fayette storm. He's got some standing water, I guess, on his feed right now from the Fayette area, but Chris Mann's not currently.
Let's see if we can get Kevin down toward that overturned 18-wheeler by chance. I don't know if Kevin, if you can hear us, we would love to see if you can go over toward US 43, Alabama 13, over toward Berry, and see if you can find that overturned 18-wheeler. I know that it's impossible to fly the drone in these conditions, but if we can get some ground shots of that would be very helpful. So again,
yeah, he says he's on the way.
Okay, Kevin, great, he's on the way. So thank you. And again, it's still broad here. We're still going to watch that carefully. But again, if you're in Kimberly, Morris, Warrior, just watch this broad rotation. We're watching it all together. We've got eyes on the radar, eyes on the cameras here. And if anything would represent a tornado warning would be issued. So let's go back to our northern Tuscaloosa County storm. And again, this is going to be the thunderstorm that is coming. And it's still, I'm trying to process the fact that why are we seeing some daylight in some of these cameras? We're on daylight saving time. The sun is going down now about 6:50 to 6:55. And of course, we've still got twilight here at 7:11. So in parts of Alabama where there's no rain falling, we've got some daylight, and that's the reason for that. So again, this is the line segment that is responsible for that, that has prompted the severe thunderstorm warning in effect for northern Tuscaloosa County, not the city of Tuscaloosa. This is this line segment with the stronger wind velocities. This is going to be passing well to the north of the city of Tuscaloosa. And again, that will be impacting Wyndham Springs along Highway 69. It's really passing north of Samantha. Samantha's down here. It's not in the polygon. This segment right in through here. And apparently it's got enough wind to blow over an 18-wheeler. That's some very strong winds. And again, you can see those bright greens, very strong wind velocity fields here coming down through northern Tuscaloosa County. And ultimately, of course, if that holds together, it's going to wind up moving into Jefferson County. This is Jefferson. This is Tuscaloosa, this is Walker. And again, that's the segment with the strong winds, and that'll be pushing its way down into western Jefferson County. Oak Grove here, Rock Creek, Sylvan Springs, McDonald Chapel, Pratt City, Edgewater, Adamsville, Graysville, West Jefferson, all these communities out here. Just be aware that you got a segment here that's really going to pack a punch if that thing holds together. The lightning output is increased, and it's shown signs of organization. And I have got to step into Studio B, Drew, for just 1 second. So I'll let you take it for just a minute here. So again, Drew, you take it for just a second, and I'll be right back. This won't take more than 30 seconds.
Okay, thanks, James. Yeah, so we were looking. I was trying to get I don't know, Bill, if you're able to see which chasers we can get up there. It looks like Kevin has got some. Yeah, okay. John's saying we need to try to switch up to Kevin if we can there on the OBS there. Bill, looks like yeah, you should be able to pull him. Yeah, there we go. JP, or not JP, sorry, Ryan. Oh yeah, there we go. So we've got some flooding there, some street flooding there, and again, that is that's around Fayette there with the Fayette. You still located near Fayette there, Kevin? Feel free to come on if you're there. I'm not hearing you there, Kevin. Okay, well, Kevin was, okay, so he was in the Fayette area there. Of course, you've got the warning that just, or the storm that has the warning on it that has moved to the east of there, but that was where we had some street flooding showing up there with Kevin's feed there, James.
Okay, so it's 7:14. Just to do a reset, we've got rain and storms over most of North Alabama tonight. For most of you, it's just obnoxious heavy rain, just a lot of rain. South Alabama, relatively quiet, not much happening down here at all. The greatest concern will be for the northern half of the state between now and about 10 o'clock tonight for the next 2 hours and 45 minutes. That's when the severe thunderstorm watch will expire. We don't expect that to be extended. One of the issues, heavy rain. Notice on Kevin Henderson's live stream from the field, he's got a lot of water on the road there. And again, some places have seen 2 inches of rain today. And that's one issue. The other issue, it's strong winds. We've had evidence of strong winds in spots, enough to blow down trees and enough to, in some cases, to flip an 18-wheeler over. Berry Fire is on the way to that. And I see a note here from Brian Falls. Brian is one of our good scanner guys. He's saying that Blount County 911 is telling crews to stage on non-emergency calls due to weather. But let's go back to the Birmingham radar, Drew, and we'll take a look at the 2 areas of concern. One is what right here. This is what's prompted the warning for northern Tuscaloosa County. In this segment right here, we've got evidence of very strong straight line winds. And again, there's broad rotation here, but certainly very strong winds. And again, the winds enough to knock over an 18-wheeler. And Kevin Henderson is on the way to that. And again, looks like he's behind an ambulance now, but we'll be watching Kevin's stream as he moves to that spot. But 59 mile per hour inbound here. And Drew, explain that skit right there for those that don't know what that is.
Yeah, James. So that's actually triggering on looking for rotation within the thunderstorm. So generally, it's going to trigger when it's seeing both the inbound. So you've got, again, the radar, the Birmingham radar is down towards the southeast. So this is showing we've got winds moving in this direction, basically towards the radar, and then you've got the red there moving away. So that's how you kind of get this little bit of rotation that's showing up. Now, it looks like most of the winds are kind of outbound from the storm, inbound to the radar, but outbound from the storm, moving in this direction. But you're getting just enough inbound, it looks like, to trigger a shear marker, which again just is a certain threshold of rotation where you have red and green right there next to each other. Pixels, basically, these little boxes you see here, right next to each other with like basically a 50 knot, a little bit over 50 miles per hour threshold there. So again, this doesn't always necessarily mean there's a tornado when you see this, but it does mean that the storm has a certain level of rotation that's usually pretty significant. It makes us a little bit more concerned. It makes us want to continue to watch closely for any sort of potential tornadic situation there, James.
All right, so it's 7:17. This is broad rotation. The main concern, strong straight line winds. And again, they're packing a punch. These are big time winds here. And we've got Kevin Henderson, who is out in the field tonight with us. He is on the way to where an 18-wheeler apparently was flipped over because of wind. Really not that far from Barry, somewhere right in through here earlier. But again, that stronger wind is coming down. It's crossed Highway 43. It's about to cross the Highway 69 corridor near Wyndham Springs. The big 2,000-foot towers are out here in northeast Tuscaloosa County. And, of course, that continues moving southeast, and that's going to cross the river into western Jefferson County. So just be aware of that. And, again, this is the rotation detector product indicating that rotation is increasing. And, of course, if that continues, there might be a tornado warning. Again, Gerald Satterwhite is indicating that winds have increased, he believes, now to 70 miles per hour in the northern Tuscaloosa County storm, and there is some broad rotation being forced by the surge of the wind, and they're watching that carefully. But again, understand this, forget the tornado stuff here. Straight line winds could reach 70 miles per hour, and that's enough to cause considerable damage. That's basically right at hurricane force. And again, that's going to be coming down. This is not affecting the city of Tuscaloosa. This is north of Tuscaloosa. This will be affecting places like, again, Highway 69. The worst of the wind is east of US 43, right there. There's Samantha. Northside High School is there. New Lexington. This is the Fayette County line. That area of higher wind is going to be well north of Tuscaloosa. But then crossing the river and then moving into Jefferson County. This is Oak Grove right here. Rock Creek, Sylvan Springs. Again, we've called out those places many times over the years for severe weather. And just be aware that if you are in the western end of Jefferson County, you've got a line segment here with winds that could be at 70 miles per hour. And that is obviously packing a major punch. And that could create a lot of tree and power line damage and other types of damage as well. And that's the reason we have a severe thunderstorm warning that is currently in effect for northern Tuscaloosa County.
Yeah, tornado warning coming on that storm, James.
Okay, so the weather, we now got an increased skit here, so the Weather Service is going to issue a tornado warning for that storm, and I think that is probably a good thing. So again, the Weather Service in Birmingham is in the process of issuing a tornado warning.
For north central Tuscaloosa till 7:45.
Okay. This will not include the city of Tuscaloosa. We got mamas and daddies all over this country watching us, worried about their kids on campus at the university. This tornado warning will not impact the city of Tuscaloosa at all. This will affect northern Tuscaloosa County. There's Tuscaloosa. There's Northport. This is the area of rotation right in through here. And again, this is the far northern part of Tuscaloosa County. So this is our first tornado warning of the day. In a minute, you're going to see a red polygon pop on here. When there's a red polygon, you respect the polygon and you go to a safe place. So if you are in this tornado warning polygon, and again, I think, Drew, it mirrors the severe thunderstorm warning polygon. I think it's almost identical. As best I can tell, it looks like we have the red polygon behind the yellow one there.
I'm not sure if it's popped in.
Yeah,
quite
in a
yet.
minute
It's a small subset in the southeast corner of it, James. It's like half of it.
Okay. So again, it affects this part of Tuscaloosa County.
Oh, yeah,
there
you're
it
right.
is.
There it is.
There
Okay.
it is.
I just turned off severe thunderstorm warning.
Okay, thank you. There we go. So this is your tornado warning polygon. And again, the rotation is near these 2,000-foot towers. And if you live up there, you know where the towers are. And again, that's going to be ultimately crossing the river into Jefferson. So if it holds up, a tornado warning could be required for Jefferson County. So just watch carefully. But if you live in northeast Tuscaloosa County, along Highway 69 or points east to the river, we want you in a small room, hall, closet, bathroom, near the center of the house, lowest floor, away from windows. You should not be in a trailer. If you live in a trailer, you need to go to a nearby community shelter. Bill?
70 knot winds at 2,800 feet right there. James.
Yeah, that's hurricane force. So we got hurricane force winds, whether it's straight line or tornado. So again, small room, lowest floor near the center, no windows. Helmet, if you've got one. Helmet, bike helmet, motorcycle helmet, football helmet, batting helmet. That's for everybody, not just kids, it's for adults. You can't be in a trailer to be safe in a tornado. You have to be in a shelter or a business that can serve as a shelter. And you've got to get there fast. You don't want to be in a car. A car is the worst place to be. A mobile home, worst place to be. So again, a tornado warning for northeast Tuscaloosa County, right here. And again, the tornado is moving southeast toward the river. And again, there's a lot of folks that live out here on the Warrior. And again, that's going to be crossing over into Jefferson. And we'll see if that continues. I'm trying to see. This is still Kevin Henderson's live stream, right?
This is Kevin.
Okay,
Yes.
we're going to leave that up for just a little bit, and that Kevin is approaching a spot where an 18-wheeler was flipped over by probably straight line winds from this on Highway 13.
And the good news is the driver is okay.
Driver's okay. All right, so nobody was injured in that. And again, Kevin will be on the scene of that here in just a matter of minutes. And again, the rotation detector is clearly showing rotation. Maybe not as vivid as it was a few minutes ago, but clearly there's evidence of strong winds here, strong straight line winds. What was that warning for, Bill?
It's going to be a watch. They're canceling some watches. That's
okay.
all, James.
No, that's just nothing new there. And we will watch this very carefully as it comes into Jefferson, but this will not affect the city of Tuscaloosa in any way. This one segment where there's potential for hurricane force winds or a tornado in through here. This tornado warning is far, far north of the city of Tuscaloosa, far, far north of Lake Tuscaloosa. This is Lake Tuscaloosa right here. It will be crossing the Warrior River, all you river rats. And that's what they call themselves. That's not a derogatory term. That's what they call themselves. Just be aware that that's going to be crossing the river and you need to be sheltered. And again, most people that are injured in tornadoes, it is involving blunt force trauma above the shoulders. And by putting on a simple helmet, that really mitigates your chance of being hurt badly. So helmet, we like for people to have hard-soled shoes in case you have to walk over a debris field. Your feet can be seriously injured and you don't even know that it's happening. And a little portable air horn is so good. If you need help and you can't vocalize your need for help, you can squeeze that and people can hear that. So again, we've got, let's look at North Jefferson real quick, Drew. We're going to bounce up there real quick. And that we've been watching this, and again, this thing came right through downtown Jasper, broad rotation, and it's tried to produce a tornado, and it just hasn't done it yet. But it looks like the rotation is tightening up again around Kimberly and Morris. Just wanted to show you that. There's no warning here, and again, it's broad, but the rotation is clearly increased, and again, that's coming out toward Palmerdale and Pinson. Again, this is the county line. This is Blount County. This is Jefferson County. Rimlap here, Palmerdale here, Trafford here. Just wanted to show you that. Again, there's no formal warning at this point, but the rotation seems to be a bit tighter. But let's go back to our one warning in the state. We have one tornado warning, and it's for extreme northeast Tuscaloosa County. For this line segment right here, that is moving to the southeast, and that will take that into Jefferson. And if that thing continues, it could ultimately affect places like McCalla and maybe, let's expand it out a little bit. Let me just show you, like you follow this out, all right? McCalla is right here. That's 459. That's Interstate 5920. This is Bessemer. This is Lakeview. Again, that segment moving like this. So again, just if you're in McCalla, anywhere out here around McAdory High School, just watch it, okay? Hopefully it goes away. But it might not go away. And the best thing to do is just to be ready in case. And listen, if you live in a trailer, and if you live around Oak Grove, Rock Creek, you might want to go to a shelter now. I know there's no formal warning for Jefferson, but the one thing we have to do in the weather enterprise is to give you more time to get to a safe place. And if you live in a trailer. And I'm just saying, it's a course of least regret. If you live out here, Toadvine, Oak Grove, Rock Creek, anywhere out here, just consider, if you live in a trailer, go to a business that can serve as a shelter, a gas stations, anything. Yeah, Bill, what you got?
New severe thunderstorm warning for South Central Walker and parts of Jefferson County.
All right, so again, what the Weather Service is going to do in a minute, you're going to see a new polygon. This will not be a tornado warning polygon. This will be a severe thunderstorm warning polygon. But remember, we've got evidence of winds in here of near hurricane force, and that could produce a lot of damage, all right? So don't worry about whether it's a tornado or straight line winds. It's conceivable of producing a lot of damage. So here's your new polygon. This includes Birmingham. So again, downtown Birmingham, south down to Homewood, Vestavia, Hoover, over here to Bessemer, Hueytown, Pleasant Grove, Sylvan Springs, Rock Creek, McDonald Chapel, Pratt City, Edgewater, all right, Oak Grove. You're in the polygon, McCalla, the Interstate 459 corridor in the polygon. And again, that's for this line segment, producing very strong winds moving to the southeast. This does not include Fultondale, Gardendale, Morris, Kimberly, Warrior. There's no warning here. It does not include Trussville, does not include Chalkville. It does not include any part of Shelby County. Now, we'll see if it holds together. The warning might be expanded down to the southeast, but it's this line segment right here, moving southeast right down the chute toward the western part of the Birmingham metro area. So again, JP, one of the things we want is that region's camera on the region center pointed west. And yes, sir, Bill.
They canceled the tornado warning for Tuscaloosa, James.
Yeah, that's the thing. We're not seeing a tornado signature here at this point. We're seeing just a straight line wind signature here. So again, the tornado warning has been canceled. But that doesn't mean the danger is over. It's really not. We've got strong straight line winds that could be in the 70 mile per hour bracket here that is moving this way. And again, we've got a Skycam here in downtown Birmingham on top of the Region Center that's looking west, and we'll be watching that with great interest. And maybe, JP, a little southwest too. The more I think about it, maybe southwest down in here. We'll kind of watch that as it approaches. So again, we're so thankful for so many cameras we have. In the meantime, let's put Kevin Henderson's chase stream back on the feed on the top box. The bottom box, those are live cameras. We're rotating through the entire state so you can see the entire state. Okay, of course, it's getting dark now. It's 7:30, and in a lot of cases you can't see much, but in some cases you can see a lot of lightning, all right? So again,
James,
yes, sir.
I think that's Krista in the top right, and I believe she's heading towards Fairfield at this point, according to what John was saying.
Okay, so again, this is Krista Pitchford. She is going to be moving into the western part of the Birmingham metro to kind of intercept this storm as it drops in. So we'll be watching the Skycam from the Region Center Tower, our spotter on the field. And again, Kevin Henderson is on his way to check on the 18-wheeler that was overturned based on reports in Fayette County near Berry. So again, we're at 7:31, and we thank you for watching on ABC 3340 and the Alabama Weather Network. We are partners in this together, and we are working a severe thunderstorm warning. The tornado warning has been canceled. The warning is now a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for parts of southern Walker. Okay, this is for areas down here below Parish. This is toward Pumpkin Center and Good Springs in Walker County, down toward Birmingport, the Warrior River. And again, over here across into Jefferson County, that would include Oak Grove, Toadvine, Mud Creek, Rock Creek, Hueytown, Pleasant Grove, Fairfield, Midfield, Bessemer, McCalla, Mulga. Again, all of these communities are in the polygon. This is the northern edge of the polygon. Adamsville, no, you're not in it. West Jefferson, no. Fultondale, Gardendale, no, you're not in the polygon. The polygon for this includes downtown Birmingham, again, out here toward Mulga and Sylvan Springs and Point South. It includes Vestavia, Hoover, Homewood, Mountain Brook. It includes the Summit. And again, once this thing gets closer, we've got a wealth of cameras in the Birmingham Metro that we'll be looking at here. But again, the main concern right now, it's strong winds. There was a brief time where we had that good rotation signature, and that has gone away. Now it's a straight line wind event. And so, again, at this point, we're watching the Skywatcher feed, and we're so thankful for all of our Skywatchers. We have thousands of them across the state. I got a report of a tree down on US 31 in Hayden. But again, the big story, it's these straight line winds of 60 to 70 miles per hour right here, inbound into western Jefferson County. And that's enough to knock down trees and power lines and cause a significant amount of damage. And of course, if a tree comes down in your house, that is a big deal. But again, we're thankful that on the 18-wheeler in Fayette County that flipped, nobody was injured. That's the reports that we have received. We got a tree down on Jolly Drive from Marshall County 911 blocking the road. Some small hail in Morris, about dime size. These are all reports from our team of Skywatchers. We are thankful for them. Warrior Police reporting very heavy rain on I-65 northbound. Seeing a lot of images of some flooding in Fayette. If you watched Kevin Henderson's live stream earlier, you saw the flooding in progress in parts of Fayette. Here's a report from Fayette. Streets in Fayette are flooded from the hospital to Southside Chevron. And the rain continues to fall there. And again, it's just absolutely pouring here. Springville, Straight Mountain, Asheville, Whitney Junction, Steele, Chandler Mountain. It's pouring in Shelby County, pouring at Harpersville, Wilsonville, pouring up here at Morris, Kimberly, Warrior, Trafford, Palmerdale. It's pouring in southern Walker County. And again, rain is one thing. You know, rain is rain. We need the rain. That's good. You're not going to melt. But what's bad, it's the wind, the damaging wind. And this is the segment right here that has the significant winds of 60 to 70 miles per hour. And again, that's approaching hurricane force. And those winds are coming down right now into the western part of Jefferson County. So again, from downtown Birmingham west, Oak Grove, Toadvine, Mud Creek, Rock Creek, Concord, Pleasant Grove, Hueytown, Fairfield, Bessemer, Lipscomb, Mulga, Sylvan Springs, McCalla, Hoover, Homewood, Vestavia, Mountain Brook. If I called out your town, you're in this polygon. And what do? You respect the polygon. And so in a case like this, there's no tornado warning. And the one thing we're trying to struggle with in societal human behavior type science is do people actually do anything during severe thunderstorms? And in most cases, no. There's just too many of them. And what we have to do is distinguish one severe thunderstorm warning from another one. They're all not the same. But I would recommend that if you're in the path of this line, you might want to be sheltered as if this were a tornado in this case. I'm not going to say that for most cases, but in this case, I think that's the right thing to do. Bill, go ahead.
The Weather Service in Birmingham had to add a little extension on that severe thunderstorm warning on the southern end of the Tuscaloosa County warning, James, to account for the right movement of that thunderstorm. So it includes that storm that's northeast of Holt, right, as it kind of moves southeast. So they kind of had to add a little extension on the southern end of it.
And that makes good sense. So again, This would include Lakeview, and this is kind of coal country up in here. It's not densely populated, but people do live there. Kellerman and places like that. I called Kellerman before you got it on the screen. That was, I know this state very well. But again, if you're out here in eastern Tuscaloosa County, this line segment will be clipping you. And again, we stress this does not include the city of Tuscaloosa. It does not. This is far eastern Tuscaloosa County, western Jefferson County. And again, that's the problem right there. And this has come through the river right now. And it's about to come on down into the western part of Jefferson County. So we thank everybody for their messages tonight. I'm seeing a lot of flooding reports. Scottsboro, some flooding here. Goodness gracious. We got a creek in the middle of Guin that I don't think is supposed to be a creek. If it's a creek, it's sure out of its banks. Let's see. Bill, are you getting all these? I got the report from Fayette, power lines and trees on apartments, the Fayette apartment complex.
I do. I have some video of that, James.
Yeah,
if you would.
If you can, let's rack that. We want to turn these UGCs as quick as we can, and that's from you, and it is so helpful to us. But it seems like a lot of the reports we're getting involve flooding. But again, the greatest concern right in through here, it's going to be strong straight line winds. And again, the polygon is right here. Eastern Tuscaloosa, western Jefferson. And again, there's your velocity, those bright, bright greens. That's the damaging wind, and that's going to be coming right into Oak Grove, Rock Creek. There's no tornado warning here, but again, I just think in this situation, the right thing to do is to treat this as if it were a tornado warning. I wouldn't want to be in a mobile home to ride this thing out. I just would not. Trailers are wonderful, safe, affordable housing. I mean, I wish I had a trailer when I was in 5th grade, but you can't stay there for some storm like this. And I think with these extreme winds, the right course of action would be to go to a shelter if you live in a trailer. If a tree comes down through a trailer, if the trailer gets airborne, that's no good. It's not good at all. I would just treat this like a tornado warning. And for a site-built house in here, you know the rules: small room, lowest floor, near the center, away from windows. This will not last long. It's going to come through quickly. All right, Bill, go.
Yeah, new severe thunderstorm warning, James, for northern Calhoun, eastern Etowah, northeastern Cleburne, and Cherokee counties in northeast Alabama. We're getting, lots of, reports from there. First, James, you called for that, Fayette County report that we had, and so if we can take WEX 05 for a second, Ryan.
Thank you, Bill.
This is that video right there. A broken power pole and a power line down on an apartment complex there in Fayette County from a short time ago. And this is from Gadsden just from a few minutes ago. You can really see the wind blowing and the rain. This preceded the warning there just by a few minutes. This is from our Skywatcher, Michael Belcher. He was sitting at exit 280 on I-65 there a few minutes ago, and you can see the lightning and the rain and the wind blowing like crazy a bit earlier. This is from Tyne Wingo up in Corner. The lightning was just super intense as that storm moved through northern Jefferson County just a while ago. This video right here is from Skyline Drive in Warrior, showing the heavy rain, flashing light there in Warrior. And back to that Fayette video that I was showing. And this was when the storm was moving through Fayette. It was still light then, but you can see the ferocity of that storm earlier that was moving through Fayette County. And but Brian Falls reporting so far no storm reports from the Jeffco sheriffs that are watching that storm really closely. We do have a report from one of our Skywatchers, though, James, that Katie McDonald's been doing a great job tonight. That County Road 23 at Newman Trailer Park's got a lot of flooding there. And she said that County Road 18 in Fayette, the flooding is intense, that the ambulance heading to the truck that had turned over barely made it through. And that people are, they're basically ignoring our advice to turn around, don't drown, and they're trying to get through. But luckily most were stopped and are turned around and didn't get trapped in the flooding. So please pay attention. You can see when you look at the overall appearance of the reflectivity tonight, this is a huge heavy rain event in addition to a wind event.
Right. Bill, thank you. That's outstanding. So let's look at our new warning. Severe thunderstorm warning. This is northeast Alabama. This includes much of Etowah, northern Calhoun, northern Cleburne, all of Cherokee. Same thing. The main concern here, damaging straight line winds. That's a wind signature line right here. That's not really a tornadic type signature at all. That's a straight line wind signature. And again, you can see those strong wind velocities off the radar at radar beam height. And some of that's going to translate down to the surface. And again, it's been obviously a very wet, very stormy night. But when the winds exceed 58 miles per hour, that's when the storms become severe. So again, if you're in northeast Alabama, we have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect now for Cherokee, all of Cherokee. That includes Cedar Bluff, Center, Leesburg, Galesville, Spring Garden. It includes northern Cleburne County, north of Heflin, northern Calhoun. This is basically from Weaver and Sachs north. This includes Jacksonville and Piedmont, Knighton's Crossroads. The eastern half of Etowah County, you can see the winds are, the stronger winds are now well to the east of Gadsden. And again, this is not a tornado warning. This is a severe thunderstorm warning for strong straight line winds. Again, and if we can, let's punch up the Gadsden Skycam. JP, I want to look at the wind gust at our Gadsden Skycam site. We actually have a couple of cameras in Gadsden. We have one that's focused on Nakalula Falls, one that overlooks the city. We'll check. All right, the peak wind gust is 13 at Gadsden. And Drew, we don't exactly know the time on that gust. We don't, that's within how many minutes, you think?
It's at least within the last hour. I'm going to double check that with our friend Brett.
Okay.
To double check that.
Okay. I'm just trying to be sure I'm going to pass along the accurate information, but at the moment, that gust does not look that extreme in Gadsden. Mainly, it's a big rain event, but I know it's awfully windy. I would expect up on the mountain up there, and I'm not even going to get into the argument of whether that is Nakalula Mountain or Lookout Mountain. That's a topic for another day. But up on the mountain, you'd think the wind gust would be a little higher up there, but it looks like the wind gust so far is sitting at 13 miles per hour. And JP, let's punch Anniston up real quick. This is going to be the Anniston Skycam. And want to see, and the worst of the weather is not in Anniston yet. They're at 16. Again, that's a look at downtown Anniston. The atmosphere pretty ripe, 72 over 64. That's pretty ripe for March. And again, we stress Anniston is not in the polygon here. Anniston is not. So let's go back to our one of our chasers out in the field, and I think this is going to. Which chaser is this, Drew? Up on the screen now? Is this?
I believe this is. Yeah, this is actually Chris now.
Okay, and I'm very interested in Kevin's because I think he should be at that overturned 18-wheeler by now, or if he's not, he'll be there in just a second. So we're going to go to Kevin Henderson.
Kevin is up. It looks like he's in transit currently.
Okay. He should be there pretty soon, and we're going to leave that up until we find out more about that. But again, this is the segment prompting the warning for all of Cherokee, eastern Etowah, northern Calhoun, northern Cleburne. We've got the warning in effect for western Jefferson and far eastern Tuscaloosa for this segment right here. So again, we'll focus in on this, and you can see those really bright greens here. The winds are surging out here. The strong winds coming into Oak Grove right now. Oak Grove and Rock Creek. And again, this is going to be a very densely populated part of the Birmingham metro. And you can see we've got at radar beam height, and really the radar beam is not that high. We've got the radar beam up at
1,600 feet. Yeah.
1,600 feet. That's pretty impressive. So again, we could easily have hurricane force winds coming down here through Alliance, Mud Creek, Oak Grove. And again, that's ultimately going to be coming into Concord, Hueytown, Pleasant Grove, Sylvan Springs, again, McDonald Chapel, Pratt City, Edgewater, Fairfield, Lipscomb, Bessemer, Brighton, Midfield. If we called out of your towns, you're going to see strong winds. And again, these winds could be enough to knock down a lot of trees and cause a lot of power outages here. Again, debris detector, that's all noise. We see no evidence of debris being lofted at this point, but we're watching that little feature here. Anytime you see a hook or a pendant like that within a line, you have to be careful. Again, we'll look at the velocity here to see if it correlates, and not at this point. Again, that doesn't look tornadic, but forget the is it a tornado? Is it straight? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If a tree is going to come through your house, you need to be in a safe place. So again, the directions we're giving here, in this case, if you're in this polygon, I would recommend you treating this like it's a tornado warning, even though it's not. It's a severe thunderstorm warning, but that would be a small room, hall, closet, bathroom, lowest floor of the house, near the center of the house, as many walls between you and the tornado as you can. And again, put on a helmet, bike helmet, batting helmet, football helmet, motorcycle helmet. Most people are hurt in these situations. Blunt force trauma above the shoulders. That will greatly mitigate your chance of having a serious injury. A helmet, it's a critical thing to have in your safe place. And again, I would not want to be in a trailer. If there's a way to get to a gas station, a burger joint, something that's open that could serve as a shelter, and most of them will let you in and they'll take care of you. Alabama's a very good state. People, for all the bad things people say about this place, people are good, and they'll take care of you, and they'll let you in there. Or if you've got a community storm shelter, and there's a lot of them out here, a lot, I would rather be in a community storm shelter as opposed to being in a trailer with this thing coming through here. There's a minus 85, Drew, 1,600 feet. That's not good.
Yeah, it looks like it's still continuing to kind of ramp up a little bit there. So at a very minimum, even if it's not, like we've been saying, even if it's not a tornado, we're not in a tornado warning currently, but that kind of wind speed, again, that we're seeing that's just a little bit over 1,000 feet off the ground from what we're detecting from the radar there, is certainly going to be a problem, and it's likely doing some sort of damage at the ground, likely knocking some trees down and things like that. You can see it's now moved further down towards the southeast, just to the just right through Mud Creek, basically at this point. Also, kind of again go back to the rotation detector. Also, we'll sometimes refer to it to as shear rate. And this signature here that you see, where we get this kind of S shape. A lot of times when we see that, we end up with some sort of issues at the ground with whether it be a tornado or winds causing damage. So anytime we see something like that, that's not good. So definitely this is looking like a very dangerous part of this thunderstorm, and it's heading in the general direction of the really not too far away from the 459-20 interchange on the southwest side of the Birmingham Metro near McAdory and McCalla and Bessemer. So again, if you're in these areas that we've been talking about, it'd be good to go ahead and take shelter and treat it like a tornado warning, given what we're seeing on the radar.
Yeah, and again, that's the advice here. And tell you what, Ryan, if you can pop up that, we got the Hoover sky cam. I just wanted to show the lightning from this storm coming in. JP's got a good view on the Hoover camera looking into that storm. We've seen some pretty impressive lightning strikes. And again, that storm will be coming through Hoover and Vestavia and Homewood in the southern part of the Birmingham Metro in the next 30 minutes or so with really, really strong winds. And again, right in through here, we're getting some really, really strong wind indications, and that's coming right down here toward McCalla and Bessemer and Hueytown and Pleasant Grove. If you live North Johns, any of these places down in here, you got to be sheltered, all right? And I just think that is the right thing to do, even though this is not a tornado warning. This is a severe thunderstorm warning. And that will continue, most likely, coming across the southern part of the Birmingham Metro. Again, that's Interstate 65 right here. That's Interstate 459. That's Interstate 5920. And let's flip, JP, to the Regions Center camera real quick. We'll go back to the stream up in Fayette County here in just a second for that overturned 18-wheeler. So this is going to be the sky cam from Regions Center looking back into that line of storms. And again, the storm should be into downtown Birmingham relatively soon. And again, you can see the tremendous lightning strikes on the horizon, really from all of our cameras where the rain is falling here. So, and I know we have two different warnings, and we're going to bounce back to northeast Alabama in just a second, but the highest velocity of all of them, it's right here. So again, McCalla, Bessemer, Lipscomb, Hueytown, Pleasant Grove, Rock Creek, Concord. If I call out your community, you need to be sheltered. I think that's the right thing to do. Just go to a small room, a bathroom, a closet, a hall, near the center of the house, away from windows, lowest floor, helmet. We'll get through it together fine. This will not last long. Once this passes, that should be it in terms of severe weather for the Birmingham Metro this evening. All right, so let's go back up to northeast Alabama real quick. We're going to bounce back and forth between these two warnings. And again, these are not tornado warnings. These are severe thunderstorm warnings. So we've got a severe thunderstorm warning in effect now for all of Cherokee County. This includes Leesburg, Cedar Bluff, Center, Galesville, Spring Garden, Goshen. That's until 8:45. And you can see it's for this segment that's producing strong straight line winds. It's coming through Hoax Bluff right now. Hoax Bluff is located east of Gadsden. And again, that's going to be coming over toward Piedmont, Spring Garden, Jacksonville soon. So again, severe thunderstorm warning for all of Cherokee County, for northern Cleburne, northern Calhoun, and extreme eastern Etowah. The worst of the wind is past the city of Gadsden at this point. All right, so let's go back to our other storm, that is the one coming into the western part of the Birmingham metro. And again, we're going to bounce back and forth between these two storms. And I know for a lot of you, it's raining where you are. You've got thunder and lightning. But again, the focus we do here, it's on the storms that are dangerous in terms of wind, in terms of large hail. We don't expect any large hail here, but wind is the main concern. And again, you can see that peak inbound is sitting at 81 miles per hour. And that's at radar beam height, but the radar beam is not that far off the ground. This is the radar coming from the Shelby County Airport, not that far away. Yes, sir?
Just 1,200 feet, James.
1,200 feet. So again, that's... I would imagine easily we have hurricane force winds down and through here. And I would imagine that we're going to probably start to see some reports of damage soon. I hope we don't. But again, it's coming through a very densely populated part of the Birmingham metro right now. What's interesting to me, though, Chris Brooks, one of our sky watchers, and again, he's a great scanner guy, he says as of 30 seconds ago, Jefferson 911 is quiet. So let's keep our fingers crossed that it stays quiet. Got a report from Cordova, a tree down on Buttermilk Road. Now, here is one report from Jefferson County Sheriff that Camp Oliver Road is shut down. I would imagine that is due to downed trees out here. Camp Oliver Road is out in the far western part of the county. And we're getting reports that it is shut down. And I would imagine that's related to trees. And again, all the hail reports, it's small, and that's good. Yeah, but these the flooding reports have been pretty meaningful here. I mean, we have seen so many flooding reports with this rain. Many spots have seen over 2 inches of rain. And again, we thank everybody for all of these reports. But the greatest concern out of all the storms we're working, it's this thing right here. I mean, that's just nasty. And this is coming into McCalla, Pleasant Grove, Concord, Hueytown, Brighton, Lipscomb, Bessemer, Midfield, right in through here. And again, that just seems to be poised to ultimately affect perhaps the city of Hoover. So again, I'm just saying that this is Interstate 459, 150 is here. The River Chase Galleria is right there at my finger. And again, those higher winds are going to be coming in, so we're going to keep a close watch on that camera. In fact, JP has the Galleria Tower. We have two cameras on Galleria Tower, two. This is one of them pointed west, and that's looking right into that fierce storm coming in. And I think that might offer us the best view of all the Birmingham metro cameras here as this thing comes in. So again, we'll kind of stay focused on that. And let's see, in terms of the chasers, we're going to have Chris Mann. He's going to be in Bessemer. And if we can get Chris's stream up real quick, Drew.
We had it up. Looks like he may be.
Okay, he might be down right now.
Have some service issues currently, but
all right.
Hopefully he'll pop back in there.
Is that Kevin up here now?
I can pull. Actually, you know what? All right, Chris is back up. That is Chris.
Okay, so.
And he's supposed to be nearing Bessemer, for what I understand.
Okay, so this is Chris Mann, who is going to be intercepting the storm right in through here. Again, you can see those hurricane force winds here. Chris's live stream will be right in through here. Chris, where are you right now?
Hey, James, I'm right at 2059 and 459 and right at the rotation.
Okay. So he is closer to McCalla down in this region right here, which really is a safer place to be. You want to be down here kind of looking back into this. But again, if you're in Concord, Hueytown, Bessemer. I would stay sheltered until this thing passes. We are going to probably see a lot of reports here in the next few minutes from the public concerning this. So I'm seeing some power flash stuff here. And again, in addition to this, we have the other warning in northeast Alabama. We have a tree down on Hugh Daniel Drive in Hoover that is reported to be cleared now. So they went down, Hoover police cleared that quickly. Virginia Mines, Hueytown, heavy wind. He is right there at it. This is from Joshua Hinton. Joshua is one of our sky watchers. And that's exactly what we expect. And now we're getting a shear marker, a skid here, Drew, and that represents just potential for some rotation. But again, at this point, it's not that critical whether it's a tornado or straight line winds. Both can cause very meaningful damage in this kind of situation that we've got going on here tonight. So again, we're watching very strong, fierce winds coming into the western part of the Birmingham metro. Let's expand this out a little bit. Let me just kind of show you where this is in relation to downtown Birmingham. Downtown Birmingham is here. This is your highest wind velocities right in here, that surge. And again, that's going to be coming right into Bessemer, Midfield, Lipscomb, Brighton, Hueytown, Fairfield, Powderly, places like that in the southwest part of Birmingham. And those stronger winds will likely translate over to the US 31 I-65 corridor. First, it's going to be coming through Shannon, the Oxmoor Valley, Ross Bridge, and then coming up on top of Shades Mountain, affecting, again, I-65 US 31, Homewood, Vestavia, Hoover. And if it stays intact, it could affect parts of northern Shelby County. I'm just saying, if you are in northern Shelby, you might want to keep a really close eye on this, and that this will likely be coming through here. Got a severe thunderstorm warning. Bill, what do we have here? Is that
new severe thunderstorm warning for Shelby County now?
Okay.
Still 9 o'clock.
That makes sense. So what the Weather Service is doing, they're expanding the warning now to include much of Shelby County. Again, for very strong winds right in here that will be coming down through western Jefferson County, moving into Shelby County. So again, just to get your bearings straight, that's US Highway 280 right here. The summit right here, that's Interstate 459. Inverness, Greystone, Highland Lakes, the mountain is right here. Chelsea is right here. The whole 280 corridor in Shelby County, you're in the polygon. I-65 down to Alabaster, the warning does not include Calera. It does include Alabaster and Columbiana and points north. So again, Helena, Pelham, Alabaster, along I-65 US 31, along the 280 corridor, Inverness, Highland Lakes, and Chelsea. Then down to Harpersville. And that's for these fierce winds that are coming down the pike. So again, that's your new warning that is currently in effect. Just got a report from the scanner, 2059 at 4:59, Jefferson County reporting possible rotation. All right, so this is our, oh, there we go. All right, so this is live from Fayette County. And this is the 18-wheeler that has overturned. Kevin Henderson, by chance, can you hear me? I don't know if Kevin can hear me or not. If I would love to know his exact location, but I can probably determine that by looking at the map traffic. So again, this is live drone video coming from an overturned 18-wheeler. And this is in Fayette County. This is east of the city of Fayette, and this would be along Alabama 13 or US 43, and it sure looks like it's along US 43, well south of Bankston. This is north of, or near New Lexington. So between New Lexington and Bankston, this is US Highway 43. This is in the southeastern part of Fayette County, north of the Tuscaloosa County line. And again, so again, that happened earlier from this line segment. That's what's happened with this, okay? So again, the wind was strong enough to take an 18-wheeler and throw it over there in the ditch. And that's the kind of wind that we've got coming now into the western part of the Birmingham metro area. And again, this could be winds of hurricane force. That's 74, 75 miles per hour. Based on what we're seeing here, not specifically looking at a tornado here, but again, based on these winds, this could knock down a whole lot of trees and power lines. We are thankful that nobody was injured here in this 18-wheeler. When the line segment came through, we understand nobody was injured, thank goodness, but obviously it's going to take a while to recover that vehicle. Bill, what you got?
In the Weather Service chat, one of the good chasers is reporting power flashes to his south towards McCalla. He's at the 18th, 19th Street exit in Bessemer, James.
Okay. And again, we're going to leave Kevin's shot up here. Then we're going to go to Chris Mann in just a second. Let's leave Kevin's up for the time he's live to look at this overturned 18-wheeler in Fayette County. But we've got Chris Mann, who is down here in this general area near this. And again, we're getting reports of power flashes. And I tell you what I want to do. I would like at this point, let's see, Ryan, can you route into the lower box links 3, the Hoover? Yes, thank you. Yeah, look at that. You see that? I can't tell if that was a power flash or a lightning strike, but this is from Galleria Tower looking back into that line of severe storms. So we're going to leave Kevin's stream up. That's the overturned 18-wheeler in Fayette County from this line of storms. And down below that, that's our Skycam, the region Skycam at Hoover on Galleria Tower watching the inbound part of this. And again, that camera is located right here and looking right back into this thing. The belly of the beast, if you will. And again, this is going to be sweeping out across the Oxmoor Valley. That includes Shannon and Ross Bridge. You're next. And from there, it's going to be crossing US 31. That would be Hoover, Vestavia, Homewood. From there, Mountain Brook and the 280 corridor. But these warnings, these severe thunderstorm warnings include Pelham, Helena, Alabaster. It includes Hoover. It includes Inverness, Greystone, Highland Lakes. It includes Chelsea. And again, not everybody will see hurricane force winds. Not everybody will see that, but some of you will. And if you're in these polygons, the idea is to treat this as if it were a tornado warning. And I know it's inconvenient. It's a school night. It's 8:03 here on 8:04 on a Monday night. But in my opinion, the right thing to do is just treat this like a tornado warning. We don't want anybody hurt. That's our goal. We get through this with nobody injured. That's a win for all of us, okay? And even though we have no tornado warning in effect, with these fierce, fierce winds, with power flashes we're seeing, the concept here is to treat this like a tornado warning. All right, so 8:04, and let's go quickly to Northeast Alabama. Drew, I know we've got another area that we're watching. We have the other warning for Northeast Alabama, and this is for that segment right here. The stronger winds have come through Cedar Bluff, Center, Leesburg, Galesville. They're approaching Spring Garden. The stronger winds are about to come into Jacksonville, Piedmont, which is right here. The stronger winds basically in Piedmont right now. The stronger winds will be sweeping through northern Cleburne counties. The concern for the heavier winds here north of Heflin, north of Fruithurst, north of Edwardsville. But again, very strong winds are represented here coming through parts of Cherokee, northern Calhoun, northern Cleburne counties. That is a severe thunderstorm warning. The wind velocities are not as high here. They're not. So again, I'm not calling this to treat this like a tornado warning, but if you do, that's fine. There's no damage. There's no harm in that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But again, the wind velocities here, not as extreme as the velocities we're seeing in the western part of the Birmingham metro. But I just wanted to show you that. Once again, a severe thunderstorm warning in effect now for the southeastern part of Cherokee County, northern Cleburne, northern Calhoun, Piedmont, Jacksonville, Spring Garden. Just be aware of that. Let's go back to the Birmingham metro. Let's see. Getting a lot of traffic, obviously, in. And we thank all of our sky watchers again because you are helping us tremendously. Traffic lights out in Bessemer on 19th Street. Many in Bessemer reporting extremely heavy rain, strong winds, frequent cloud-to-ground lightning. And again, we're seeing that lightning on the Galleria Tower Skycam. Bill, what you got?
Yeah, Ryan Carty in the Weather Service chat reporting power flashes in front of his position on the Hueytown side of 2059 2 minutes ago, and a new severe thunderstorm warning for northern Pickens.
Okay, and we'll check out the Pickens County warning in just a minute. But again, this is going to be pretty tough. And what I want to do is quickly flip from Kevin to Chris Mann, who is in Bessemer. And again, we're going to change our chaser box over to Chris. And Chris, can you hear us? Where are you and what do you have there?
I went south of the storm and had to turn around so I could get on 459. I'm about to exit 459 off of 2059 north.
Have you seen any power flashes?
I have not seen any power flashes, just mainly a lot of lightning.
Okay.
Heavy downwind.
Okay. Thank you. So let's go back to our Fayette drone shot if we can, Drew. This will be from Kevin Henderson, who is flying over an overturned 18-wheeler. This is in Fayette County, north of the Tuscaloosa County line. This is north of New Lexington, south of Bankston. And this happened with this line segment, the same line segment right here. That's what it did, okay? And that's coming through the western part of the Birmingham Metro. We've got power flashes. And again, we're watching it live with our Hoover Galleria Tower Skycam focused in on this. That gives us the better view right here. And again, that'll be coming into Hoover and Vestavia and Homewood. And ultimately, Pelham, Helena, Alabaster. The winds might not be as bad down here in the southern end of this, but you get up into this core right here, that 459 corridor, Hoover back up toward Vestavia, Homewood, could be a pretty rough ride. If we can, let's quickly look at the Birmingham camera, JP. I want to check the wind gust from atop Region Center in downtown Birmingham. The peak wind gust is 20. And I really think the stronger winds are going to be south of downtown Birmingham. So let's go back to the Galleria Tower camera. And again, we're going to stay with that, and that gives us the best view of this incoming line of severe storms that could possibly produce hurricane-force winds. So let's go back to Pickens County really quick. We've got a lot of things going on here. We have a new warning for Pickens. And again, we've got a tornado warning now, Drew, in effect for Lowndes County, Mississippi. And that storm is in the process of moving over into Pickens. And this is, again, a skit that represents rotation here. So if you are in Pickens County, again, this is US 82 right here, Ethelsville, Coldfire, McShann, Reform is right over here. Just be aware that we've got rotation. Got a good inflow notch. Large hail most likely is falling here. Large hail. That's just east of Columbus, Mississippi, and potentially a tornado just southeast of Columbus. And that has prompted a severe thunderstorm warning for Pickens County. So again, those of you in Pickens County, let's expand this out a little bit, Drew. I want to show Reform. So here's the polygon. Gordo is here, Reform is here, Carrollton is here. This is your severe thunderstorm warning polygon. This includes US 82, again, from Reform west. It does include Carrollton. It does not include Pickensville. It does not include Aliceville. But just be aware, we've got a tornado warning now for parts of Lowndes County, Mississippi, the eastern part of Lowndes County, Mississippi. And that storm is about to cross over into Pickens County. At the moment, the Weather Service in Birmingham, they're not issuing a tornado warning here. But I would imagine that is being considered. Bill, what you got?
Large severe thunderstorm warning for the eastern, well, really for everything from Jefferson over through Talladega, Calhoun, down through Shelby, St. Clair, over to Cleburne and Clay.
Let's look at that real quick. Let's go back over to the eastern side of the state. So, yeah, this is going to be a whopper of a polygon here. Goodness. The Weather Service in Birmingham is issuing a severe thunderstorm warning for the same thunderstorm complex, extending all the way to Leeds, Pell City, Anniston, Heflin, the whole I-20 corridor. So again, we have a severe thunderstorm warning. This includes northern Clay, northern Talladega, southern Calhoun, southern Cleburne, areas not in this first warning up here. It includes basically all of St. Clair, that part of Shelby County not involved here. What the Weather Service is doing, they're just blanketing a severe thunderstorm warning from that line of storms on east. All right. And again, the main concern here is strong straight line winds. Let's go back to the Birmingham storm. I'll go back to Pickens County in just a second. All right. So again, and I think we lost Kevin's drone shot. So let's go to Mans if we can. Drew, we're going to flip over from Kevin to Chris, and Chris is near Bessemer. Approaching, he's going to be involved in this line of storms. But again, very strong winds coming through the southern part of the Birmingham metro. The stronger winds have arrived in downtown Birmingham. They'll be coming through Homewood, Vestavia, Hoover, Pelham, Alabaster, Helena very shortly. The velocities have come down a little bit. That's good. Instead of seeing those 81, 82, 83 mile per hour winds, now they're down in the middle 50s, but the radar beam is a little lower here. But again, this is a pretty good representation of what you're going to see down at the ground. So on the positive side, the winds have come down a bit, but still it's enough to cause damage here. So again, with the velocities coming down a little bit, I would say that we could probably go back to a base type severe thunderstorm warning here where you don't have to take the exact tornado precautions. But again, as a course of least regret, until this thing passes, you might want to stay in just a small room in your house. Just watch your phone, sit in the hall, wait for this thing to pass. Closet, just some good small room, lowest floor near the center, and watch us. That's the one thing about it. You can watch us across social media, however, and we'll let you know when the danger is ended. And the danger is ended if you're in Oak Grove, Rock Creek. It's all well to the east of you. And again, this is it. Once this thing passes, that's it from this particular storm segment. But again, those heavier winds are coming right into Hoover. We're watching the anemometer over here on our Hoover Skycam on top of Galleria Tower. So far, the peak wind gust is 20, but that could change quickly because that line is just not quite there. And again, the Galleria Tower camera is right here, and I mean, it's about to take a hit from this thing. It's come on through Ross Bridge. It's coming up on Shades Mountain right now, right into the I-65 US 31 corridor. And again, we've got Chris Mann, who is out in this, and I do want to thank Chris and Krista Pitchford and thank Kevin Henderson for being out in the field tonight. Kevin has done a great job over in Fayette getting us live images of the 18-wheeler that flipped over along US 43 north of New Lexington. Tremendous job by Kevin, and thanks to all of our streamers out in the field tonight. It makes this coverage just right. People need to see what the weather is doing. It needs to be visually interesting, and we're delighted that we can do that. So again, we've got Chris Mann out in this, and the reason we are here, we've got a line of severe storms that's capable of producing winds of up to 50, 55, 60 miles per hour. The wind velocities have come down a little bit, and we hope that continues. The sun is down, the air is slowly getting more stable, and with time there should be some weakening. But the Weather Service in Birmingham believing that there certainly should be enough wind here to cause some damage, tree and power line damage, and that's the reason we have the warnings in effect. Drew, any damage news from West Jefferson so far?
Looks like I'm not necessarily seeing anything. You got something, Bill?
Yeah, I've got a couple of reports. Drew, John Talbot reporting large oak tree down one of his neighbor's yards, 200 Hazel Drive in Hueytown. And Morris Fire now reporting trees down, power lines down on Langford Lane in the northern part of Jefferson County. So that's a report there. We're getting several reports from northeast Alabama, Cherokee County. Matt Teal, the excellent emergency managers up there, damage around Galesville, Highway 35, around Brad's One Stop up in that area. Had a structure fire reported in Springville and St. Clair County due to lightning, and 1.92 inches of rain due our skywatcher Nikki Thornton in Springville. Tree down in Morris in northern Jefferson County reported a short time ago. So, we're getting lots of reports of trees down here and there. Reports in up in Cherokee County also, Nicole Tierce, one of our sky watchers, power out in parts of Piedmont, some trees down near Weiss Lake. Chris Brooks, one of our outstanding sky watchers and scanner operators, reporting several trees down western Jefferson County. Concord Fire reporting 2 down trees there, another near Mud Creek Road and Groundhog Road. And Brian Falls reporting that all the Jefferson County sheriff's deputies in that area were sent to shelter for a time when the storms were rolling through. Joey Amberson reporting out in the Oxmoor Valley that when the storms passed through his area in the Oxmoor Valley that the storms were not too bad, so that's good. Nicole Tierce also reporting a tree down up in Blanche in Cherokee County. So, busy night, but so far no huge catastrophic reports, and let's keep it that way.
Yeah, that is good. And we've heard of no injuries so far, despite trees and lines being down. And if we can really quickly look at a power outage map, Drew, from you, I think that would be very interesting for me, just to see what that looks like. These are going to be power outages across the state. We've now got, we can zoom in a little bit. This is going to be 2,000 people without power in Jefferson, 1,000 people without power in Blount. The numbers are not that bad, actually, in Fayette and Walker, considering what they've gone through tonight. 600 outages in Fayette, 400 in Walker County. But again, the numbers are really ramping up in Jefferson. And Ryan, can you hear that on the air, that noise I'm hearing by any chance, or is that just me in my ear? Okay. All right, I'm going to turn that down. But again, I just wanted to show a quick glimpse of the power outages we have in progress across the state. And let's see. Let me get a number really quickly while we're looking at that statewide. I can give you a very specific number. So our current outages are at 9,777 statewide. So we're almost at 10,000 without power statewide. And the numbers are ramping up. So let's go back to the radar. Let's go to our Pickens County storm very quickly. We've got a tornado-warned storm that is moving into Pickens. And again, it's not really a classic tornado signature at this point. And I don't think there's a need for a tornado warning here for Pickens, but man, oh man, there's some huge hail falling right here along US 82 coming out of Columbus. And that'll be coming right down the US 82 corridor, affecting places like Ethelsville and McShann, Coal Fire, and Reform. So just be aware that if you are in Pickens County, there's some huge, big-time hail with this storm. So a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Pickens County. I know that Lowndes County earlier was under a tornado warning in Mississippi, but that rotation has weakened a good bit. Let's go back to the Birmingham Metro real quick and take a look at that. Again, we've got a line of severe storms coming through the Birmingham Metro. Again, we could see very strong winds in through here. Let's, JP, look at our Birmingham camera from Regions Center in downtown Birmingham. Peak wind gust 39, which is manageable. We can manage that. Let's go to the Hoover Galleria Tower camera. Let's check the peak wind gust there. That should tell us a story. Peak wind gust at Hoover is at, we'll find out here in just a second. Again, that's the camera you're seeing now on top of Regions Center in downtown Birmingham. We'll go to the Hoover camera, Galleria Tower, and that's at 45. And that line is coming through right now as we speak. And JP, if you can point that camera down, the Hoover camera down, I want to see the traffic along 459 and US 31 a little better. But we're sitting at a sustained wind of 20 with a gust of 45 at Galleria Tower in Hoover. And again, down below, you can see traffic is moving along. It's pouring rain there. But that's not a bad wind gust. I was afraid we'd see a wind gust of 55 or 60, quite frankly. So that's manageable. And I think that's a sign the wind velocities have indeed come down in this line. But they still could be enough to knock down trees and power lines. No doubt about that. But again, at the Galleria Tower, we're seeing a gust of 45. And I think that's in line with the radar estimates here. That's within the radar beam, which is about 1,000 feet off the ground. Down at the surface, got a wind gust of 45. So these are producing winds of 45, 50 miles an hour. And again, that's going to be coming right into It's coming into Mountain Brook now. It's come on through Hoover and Vestavia. Next up, it'll be coming through Inverness, Greystone, Highland Lakes, Chelsea. The higher wind velocities are staying really north of Pelham, north of Helena, north of Alabaster. I know that you're in the warning, but the higher velocities on radar are north of there. And we have seen from time to time evidence of power flashes based on reports, but so far we've heard of no structural damage. Bill, any structural damage you've seen? I mean, I've not seen any damage so far.
No structural damage at all, James. Traffic is moving slowly on I-459. We've got video coming in from Michael Belcher, one of our great sky watchers, and it is you can kind of see what's going on there. Don't want you driving out in this heavy rain right now, but if you the traffic is moving for sure, and let me make sure that I'm getting it on the air here, and it should be on Wexo 5 if you want to take it real quick. You can see the really, really heavy rain, and I'll put it in motion. But the traffic is moving slowly, and that's consistent all along I-459 from Bessemer through McCalla, down through Hoover, through I-65. That's what the ride looks like right now. It's not a pretty ride right now, James.
Yeah, it's not a good night to be out. But again, if there's any good news, it's the fact that the velocities have come down a little bit. They're not going up, they're coming down, which makes sense in that the air is a little more stable. But again, we've got the peak wind gust at Hoover at 45. Now there's 42-50. All right, we just hit 50. So again, that's just within the last few seconds here. We've had a wind gust of 50 at the Galleria Tower in Hoover. Of course, that's up on top of the big building on top of Galleria Tower. Down below, the winds maybe not quite that bad. So again, we've got a sustained north wind at 42, gusting to 50. And that's the kind of wind you can expect with this. Inevitably, that's going to blow down some trees and power lines. And again, we've got 2,000 people in Jefferson County without power, and those numbers are continuing to increase. And I would imagine we'll begin to see the numbers ramping up in Shelby County as well as the storms come on through. The Tuscaloosa peak wind gust is 20. Let's go to Region Center in downtown Birmingham. Tuscaloosa's got no issues, thankfully. Downtown Birmingham, we've got a wind gust of 39. That's very manageable. That's a 33-floor building, the Region Center in downtown Birmingham, with a peak wind gust of 39. So no doubt the higher velocities are in this segment right here, coming through Vestavia, Liberty Park, Inverness, about to come through Chelsea, Highland Lakes, Greystone, Shoal Creek, neighborhoods like that. So again, you'll see those very strong winds. And again, possibly gusting up to 50. Let's go back to the Galleria Tower camera. And again, you can see the winds are at 50 miles per hour. The peak wind gust is at 50 at Galleria Tower. The winds are sustained at 29 out of the west-northwest. And just right in through here, that's where those strong winds will be occurring. And we've got severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for this entire line, all the way basically from Birmingham, the metro, to the Georgia state line. So let's expand this out. Let me just show the warnings here, these polygons. That's a long, long, skinny polygon right here, all the way from Birmingham to pretty much the Georgia state line. So again, this includes the activity that's been coming through East Alabama and the new activity coming through Birmingham. You see that bow-shaped echo right there surging out. And let's not forget Pickens. Let's go back to Pickens County. And again, the main concern over here, it's hail. Big time hail. I mean, and lightning is nasty. So again, we've got tremendous amounts of hail falling here, most likely along US 82. And again, that's a sheer. Drew, explain again what that skid is for people that are not used to that.
Yeah, so that's basically, again, showing that there is some rotation within the first couple of tilts of the storm. So usually kind of lowest to the ground as far as where the radar is able to detect. Now we're looking at the Columbus radar. So we're looking at just, about 1,800 or so feet off the ground that it's showing some rotation. We'll take a look at the velocity signature. I will say that this, the velocity with this has been definitely pretty messy and kind of a little bit harder to decipher compared to what it sometimes looks like. So it definitely had some noise going on there. It could be some side lobe contamination. We've got all this hail within the thunderstorm here, but I mean, definitely seeing at least maybe some rotation here. It looks like it just moved. And again, when you have this, you're looking for the outbound, the red there, and then the inbound right next to each other. But again, I'm almost thinking we're more likely seeing some sort of downburst or something like that, straight line winds versus a tornadic signature with this. And then, of course, we've got the extreme hail that is in the area as well, which you see all the lightning there just to the north near Ethelsville. Again, we're mostly south of 82 at this point, but you can see that we're not too far away from Coal Fire, kind of moving in the direction of reform, but hopefully staying generally south of there, at least with the rotation. But the hail, the part of the hail core still is kind of riding along US 82 at this point. So it's still possible that you could get some big hail in those areas further towards the east.
All right. What you got, Bill?
Flash flood warning for Jefferson, southwestern St. Clair, and central Shelby.
All right. And I should mention, we're looking now at our Grandview Medical Center Skycam, where they've had a peak wind gust of 55 miles per hour. Grandview Medical Center is on US 280, just south of Birmingham. So again, we've got a gust of 50 at the Galleria Tower, 55 at Grandview Medical Center. That's representative of the winds that we're seeing in these storms tonight. So again, peak wind gusts 55 at Grandview Medical Center on US 280 in Birmingham. JP, thanks for catching that. Out of curiosity, let's go to Bald Rock real quick and let's see what that looks like. Bald Rock is in St. Clair County. This is a Skycam between Leeds and Pell City, and really the winds have not reached there yet. They're at 25. So let's go back to Grandview. And again, this is along the 280 corridor where we've got winds peaking there at 55 miles per hour. And that shot is looking north toward the summit from Grandview Medical Center. And again, Drew, if we can pull up the power outage map real quick just to get an update here, that would be very helpful. Wow, they're really ramping up. I've got 16,000 people now, 16,100 with no power. Jefferson County, 3,500. Cullman, 1,500. 1,000 Blunt, 1,000 Etowah. These are power outages. And again, the statewide total is now 1,600. So again, that shows that we've got some pretty fierce winds. A lot of trees coming down, a lot of power lines coming down in through here. So 16,000 without power, and we're clearly the hardest hit state. Mississippi's outage count is only 4,800. So it's been a rough ride for Alabama tonight. Let's go back to the radar. It's 8:28, and we're working a batch of severe thunderstorms coming through Alabama tonight. We have no tornado warnings. These are severe thunderstorm warnings. And Drew, there's our flash flood warning. I bet you the rain rates have been pretty good.
Yeah, I think we were expecting we'd start to get a few more of these eventually here with just all the rain that's been around. In fact, we'll switch back over, look at the reflectivity here. So again, thankfully, at least in kind of the western side of this flash flood warning polygon, it looks like the rain has ended, but there's been enough rain that's fallen here in the last little bit of time here that you've included some of these areas in kind of the central and western side of Jefferson County. But this extends over into Shelby County as well, and also to the kind of the far western edge of St. Clair County. But looking at what we've seen as far as accumulation over the last, we'll just do the last hour or so to start off with. So just in the last hour, we have seen some accumulations in or near this area of close to 2 inches. So again, that's a lot. If we go back to the last 3 hours or so, you can see that again, a little bit north of the polygon, actually, you see some estimates of around 2 inches or so. But there's places kind of in the northeastern part of the Birmingham metro near Trussville. You had 1.5 inches. So there's been very heavy rain falling just in the last several hours with this. And so part of it too is there are quite a few places in the Birmingham metro that are prone to street flooding anytime you get heavy rain. And so I think that's part of the reason that they issue these here as well. That isn't necessarily maybe as much of an accumulation total that you might see in other spots in the state that might trigger a flash flood warning. But certainly seeing some heavy rain there continuing moving through the kind of the eastern side now of the Birmingham metro.
All right, Bill, I'm seeing piles of user generated videos and photos of some damage too. You might pull through those. What you got?
Yeah, James, just to let you know, I saw just about 40 seconds ago a pretty serious power flash on the Alabama Algo camera on 280 at Grandview Parkway. And I've seen other reports, power out in Brook Highland, power out in Overton, transformers blowing, and Bessemer Fire Department, according to John Talbot, reporting trees down and power out 14th Street and Fairfax Avenue.
Okay, so again, that just confirms what we have seen here. That's our Skycam at Alabaster, and again, we've got a peak wind gust there of 28 which is a good thing. The higher winds north of there. So let's go back to Grandview Medical Center. I want to stay with that. And JP, if you can point the camera south, we've been looking north. I want to go south, looking down Highway 280, looking in the direction of Double Oak Mountain and Chelsea. That's looking north. I want to pan it south to look down the other direction on Highway 280 and see if we can see any power outages down toward Inverness and Greystone and Highland Lakes and places like that. But again, the peak wind gust is at 55 miles per hour. Oh, we've lost power, okay. Now, the hospital has a generator, obviously, a large generator, but I don't believe our camera is on that generator, and we will get that fixed. But again, apparently commercial power has gone out at Grandview. But again, if you have a patient there, or a family or a loved one, they're just fine. They have a huge generator. They can run for days. They're fine. Again, this is the view coming from Alabaster. Let's go back to Galleria Tower. And again, it seems as though the winds perhaps were a little higher on the 280 corridor side as opposed to the US 31 I-65 side. And Drew, you got some rotation, looks like, that maybe came through there.
Yeah, at least some straight line winds are being indicated for sure here, just kind of moving past Grandview and Inverness and moving down towards the southeast, past, looks like some of the heaviest winds now past Highland Lakes. They're going kind of moving down along 280, probably kind of near the Chelsea area at this point. And again, just looking at the velocities, you're not seeing necessarily anything quite as extreme as what we were seeing earlier. So that's good. And again, we're not too far away from the radar. We're just a few hundred feet off the ground at this point, and we're seeing 40, 50 miles per hour. I'll just kind of move it back here to see if it looked like it was, yeah, it looked like it was maybe a little bit higher, a little bit earlier, right as it was kind of passing through there near where the camera is at Grandview. But it might be starting to kind of broaden out and not be quite as high wind velocities there, but you still have some inbound, or actually some outbound winds there showing up relative to the radar. So you've got some element of the winds going kind of towards the east there, and then some kind of coming back towards it there. So but definitely at least a strong wind gradient in that area is part of what we're seeing with that shear rate product there, James. Okay, so it's 8:33, and again, I know we've been here for a long time, but we just thought we would walk you through this. Again, the nice thing about what we do here is that we don't have to worry about cutting off programs. We are the program, and we can stay on here as long as we want to. And we just wanted to stay with you while this line of severe storms passes through the state tonight. The severe thunderstorm watch is in effect until 10. Storms should weaken over the next several hours, but they're still packing quite a punch, especially in the segment right here coming right down toward through Chelsea right now, then gradually coming into Westover and Harpersville. This is US 280. It is come through Greystone and Mount Laurel. It's coming down through Chelsea and Westover now. Next up is Vincent and Harpersville. And remember, we've got severe thunderstorm warnings in effect all the way to the Georgia state line. So if you're in Talladega County, if this thing holds together, you'll see some really strong winds. That's the concern here. We don't see any evidence of a tornado. It's all straight line winds. Those straight line winds will accelerate over here into parts of Clay, Calhoun, Cleburne counties, all of these counties under a severe thunderstorm warning for this. And hopefully the concept is the storm should weaken in coming hours. That would be a very good thing. All right, let's go to Krista's live stream if we can on the top box. I believe that she's got some damage here. And let me get my earpiece back in here, and we're going to put her stream up. And I believe she's got some damage. Yeah, we're putting it back in there. 1 second.
Okay. And we've got a.
All right, she's up now.
And again, we have a new severe thunderstorm warning downstream. Again, this will be for southern Talladega County. What the Weather Service is doing is issuing a new warning for that bow-shaped line here down through here. So this will include southern Talladega County. So again, this includes Childersburg, Sycamore, Sylacauga, places like that, south of Talladega. And really and truly, I think the higher wind velocities could stay easily south of Interstate 20, south of Pell City, and maybe even south of Talladega. But again, that's the nastiness right there. I mean, that's nasty. Very strong winds. So Chris Pitch, can you hear me? This is James. I don't know if she can hear me or not in the field. She might not have the ability to speak with us, and I would love to know where she is. And it looks like we do have some kind of damage there.
It's like Morris. I'm seeing in the chat there that she's in Morris.
Okay, so this is in northern Jefferson County. And if you recall, we had that very well-defined broad circulation coming through there with evidence of strong winds. These are down power lines at Morris. And again, this is coming from Krista's live feed, who's one of our streamers in the field tonight. And again, thanks to everybody that's been out in the field. Listen, we've got the easiest job in the world. We are in a safe, dry studio. I'm standing in front of a green wall. The hard part's their crew out in the field. But that's what's going to make this operation different. The people we have in the field that will let you see what's going on here. And we are so thankful for that. Bill, go ahead.
Yeah, James, let me make sure that I'm getting my images up to WEX 05 here real quick, and I think I am. So, Ryan, if you can take that. This is damage from the area up northern Jefferson County around Corner and Bagley, which is up there where Krista is tonight, and shows some damage there in that area. And this is from Cedar Bluff from a little bit earlier, lightning from Brownsboro. But what I want to show you is this right here, which is a power line down in Corner. That's pretty significant power pole down, and pretty impressive picture there. And James, this was from Fairview in Coleman County from a little bit earlier when those storms rolled through there. A gas station, a Wavaho gas station, the awning, the canopy over the pumps took a pretty good hit there, and the fire department on the scene. But Caldwell Mill Road, now we got a tree down reported per Shelby County Sheriff's by Bryan Falls. There's an accident on I-59 near the Sheridan Hotel. That would be visible from our camera. I understand from John Talbot that there's a car overturned there, so you want to avoid that area. Power is out on Main Street in Trussville. Shades Crest Road, an area that always has problems with high winds. Hoover Fire reporting a tree down there. So Shelby or St. Clair County reporting trees down. So we're getting just lots of reports now. James, Chris Brooks reporting trees down in Mount Olive, power lines involved there. And so, they're starting to roll in, and it's borne out by our power outages, unfortunately.
All right. And again, JP, if we can leave up one of the Birmingham Metro cameras, Tuscaloosa is just fine. I know they've got the storm coming in from the west. We'll watch that as the Pickens County storm comes in. Maybe interested, I think we're still got power out at Grandview, right? Our camera's still down there. Let's see, do we have power, or I think we do. We do. Yeah, we do. Okay. So power is, the commercial power is back at Grandview Medical Center. And again, they've had a peak wind gust of 55, and this is what many people have experienced. So Pickens County, all right. So we've got broad rotation south of US 82. We got a severe thunderstorm warning in effect here. And again, the good news, the intensity of the hail seems to have decreased, but again, there's evidence of rotation right in through here, just south of Reform. So again, for those of you in Pickens County, be aware that there is broad rotation. We're not saying there's a tornado down here. Most all the damage we've had tonight, it's straight line winds, to our knowledge. But again, we're watching broad rotation. Let's put the velocity display back on here. And again, that's very broad. The colors are not that hot, not that bright, so the velocities are not excessively high. And we've seen a lot of signatures like this tonight where the atmosphere is trying to drop a tornado, but it's just having a hard time doing that. Thank goodness that the wind dynamics are just not that favorable for tornadoes. We knew going in there might be one or two, an isolated tornado or two, but again, so far we've had mostly straight line wind damage, which is bad enough. So again, here's your warnings, okay? So let's leave this up for a second here. We've got a severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Pickens County. Severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for parts of Shelby, Talladega, Clay, Cleburne, Calhoun, Cleburne, Calhoun, and extreme southeastern Cherokee County, parts of St. Clair, and extreme eastern Jefferson. That's in advance of this line of storms that has been producing a lot of tree and power line damage. You saw the images coming in from Bill. And again, thanks to everybody for taking the time to send the images in to us. It's critical that we see that. We thank you so much. We can't show it all, but we see it all, our team here in real time, and it really helps us assess the situation. So thank you for your reports. And again, these storms, let's put the reflectivity back on. This is velocity. Again, that kind of tells the biggest story. We've got the line segment here in Pickens. We have the line segment here east of Birmingham that's going to be moving out of Shelby, coming into Talladega. A line segment here in parts of Cleburne and Randolph counties. Here, here, really here and here. And again, all of these should be weakening with time. The severe thunderstorm watch is scheduled to expire in 1 hour and 18 minutes at 10 o'clock. And hopefully after that, we don't have any more watches or warnings, but we'll keep a close eye on these things. Certainly everything should be winding down by 11 o'clock or midnight. And tomorrow should be a quiet day. That's the good news. We expect basically a dry day. The next round of storms will be Wednesday night. And those could pack a punch as well. But we've got to get through this, and then we can focus on Wednesday. This is like football here. You take it one storm system at a time. One storm system at a time. So again, one line of storms east of Birmingham. That'll be coming into Pell City, Cropwell, Childersburg, Talladega, Sylacauga, Sycamore. It'll be coming into Harpersville and Vincent. And basically coming into Vincent right now. This trailing segment back here, I don't think we have any really strong winds here. And then we're watching that one rogue storm out here in Pickens County. And the Pickens County storm looks pretty nasty. That thing has been producing some very large hail back in Mississippi. It produced some large hail in western Pickens County. And again, let's look at the velocity on this thing, Drew. This is the one that we're watching for any sign of rotation, and it's there, but it's broad. You don't issue a tornado warning for that. If you issue a tornado warning for that every time, your false alarm ratio would be 90%, and you just can't have that. Again, no, it's just broad. But again, there certainly could be some wind and certainly some hail. So again, Drew, I'll let you take a look at the storms east of Birmingham. Let's go through those real quick.
All right. Yeah, so we'll take a shift over to the Birmingham radar and head over in that direction. And of course, yeah, we've got that fairly broad severe thunderstorm warning that's in effect for those areas. However, thankfully at this point, things are not looking quite as rough in those areas. You know, Pell City, Talladega, places like that, Heflin, Anniston. Things are not looking too bad there. Of course, you've still got moderate rain falling in those areas, but really not looking too bad in a good portion of that area that they've kind of got that large warning for. So I guess we'll see. Click on it real quick and recall. Looks like it was scheduled to expire about 9:15. I guess we'll see what they do with it. Now you do have a little bit further towards the west, back kind of in between Leeds and Pell City. You still do have the segment of this that is a little bit more interesting looking here. You got a little bit of rotation in a few spots here, but nothing is fairly broad. Doesn't look like anything too concerning at this point. We'll just kind of click through some of the other products. And so, yeah, I mean, we're getting a little bit of spin there, but it doesn't look like anything super threatening. Our rotation detector just shows a little bit there, but not a whole lot. And as we move back further towards the southwest, this is the part of this storm that we've been the most concerned about, that moved through parts of Jefferson County and Shelby County and along 280 there, and it's now moving kind of in the vicinity there of Wilsonville, heading towards Childersburg. So 231 here fairly soon, you'll see that, or 280, I'm sorry, you'll pretty soon see that coming through Childersburg here. But again, the velocities are not what they were. We'll just take a few samples here, and we're just a few hundred feet off the ground. So I mean, we're still expecting we're going to see gusty winds in this area, but it's not looking quite to the level of, we were seeing hurricane force probably winds earlier within the last hour or so. So yeah, especially towards the east. Let's go a little bit further over towards Cleburne County here. You got Heflin and Ranburne. And again, the velocity in these areas just doesn't look exactly like it did earlier. There's still going to be some gusty winds there, but it's not looking quite to to the same level. Again, we'll just take a few queries. Looks like some 50-mile-per-hour winds there are possible just to the east of Delta. But again, it's not looking as threatening, and we're not really seeing rotation and things of that nature. So a lot of it's going to be some rain, some lightning, and of course the rain has been a part of the story here as well, where we've seen some really big rain totals there, James.
All right, so we are at 8:46, and we thank you for watching the Alabama Weather Network. We've been here live since I think we started about 4 o'clock today. And we've had a couple of brief tornado warnings, really just one in Alabama, but we thought based on the nature of the event, we just would stay on the air with you. And we don't have, the nice thing about what we do here, we don't have to worry about cutting off programs. Don't fuss at me, we've not cut off anything. The only thing we've cut off, it's the Alabama Weather Network. So we are who we are here, and it makes it so easy for us to do this. And I've got the resources and the people, and it's just a marvelous thing. And we just thought we'd stay with you for a while, and that the storms have been very, very active, and they produced a lot of wind damage and a lot of problems across the state. But the good thing about it, we've heard of no injuries, and that's a win. Whenever we can say we've had no injuries, that is a win. South Alabama, people have been saying, what's going on? You're not talking about us. It's because there's nothing happening there. Tennessee Valley, Florence, Huntsville, Shoals, you're good. I mean, everything is now south of there. The risk of severe storms has clearly ended here. And really just the main concern, it's going to be this little strip of activity for the next hour or so. The storms in Mississippi should be weakening. And again, really after 10 o'clock, I don't think we have any big problems, as everything should begin to wind down. And again, we'll go back to Bill with some of the damage reports here in a minute, getting a lot of images and videos from you, and we are so thankful for that. And again, just some tremendous images we'll get with Bill here in just a second. But so this is where we stand now. And again, we're watching the various sky cams here. And let's see. Let's look at Bald Rock, JP. That's going to be right here. That's going to be pretty close. Let's leave that camera up there for a few minutes and let's kind of see what happens. Bald Rock is next in line. This is between Leeds and Pell City. And I would not want to be up on that mountain. If you ever drive Interstate 20 between Leeds and Pell City, you look up and you see those communication towers up there. That's where this camera is located, Bald Rock Mountain. And again, it's between US 411 and Interstate 20. You can see the mountain from both highways. And it's a great vantage point. And again, so many of our events like this happen at night where you just can't see anything, but man, you can see that lightning. But the beautiful thing about the sky cams, we've got the weather data in real time. This is not coming from an observation point that was taken an hour away. What you see over here, that's live. Notice in Hoover, the peak wind gusts there at 50 at Galleria Tower. Bald Rock so far 25. But these storms are just coming into Bald Rock, and I would imagine that peak wind gust will be going up pretty quickly in the next 5 minutes or so. But this arcing band of storms is going to be coming through ultimately Pell City, Lincoln, Talladega, Childersburg, Sylacauga, Sycamore, Waldo. You ever been to Waldo, Drew?
I don't think
Where's
I have.
Waldo?
Where's Waldo?
But again, that will ultimately come on to the east. That'll be coming through parts of Clay County, Randolph County, Cleburne County. And again, with this, the main concern, strong, damaging straight line winds. The velocities have come down a little bit from where they were about, 15, 20, 30 minutes ago. But there's still enough in here to produce some down trees and power lines. But clearly the velocities are down. Notice how the bright shades of green are just slowly fading away, and that's the weakening trend that we've expected. And when you see the bright greens coming down to the darker greens, that means the storms are slowly coming down in intensity. And again, just maybe once we get past 9:15 or 9:30, we'll have no more warnings for tonight. But the wind is nothing like it was earlier coming through that 280 corridor in the Birmingham metro. So again, that's the case, and we think that will continue to be the case. Let's see, JP, you got what, 25 still at Bald Rock, watching our Skycam here. And I think if that's the peak wind gust at Bald Rock, these things have really come down in intensity. But I still think the higher wind velocity are just west of there. So again, we'll keep a close eye on that. But boy, the lightning is fierce. That's one thing for sure. Again, to show you where the Bald Rock camera is, it's like right here. My finger is at Bald Rock. And again, that's the camera location, and that is in the polygon. This is the northern extent. It's basically on the northern edge of the polygon. And again, in St. Clair County, the warning does not include Asheville, does not include Odenville. It includes Moody, Pell City. Over here in Talladega County, this includes Lincoln and Point South. And this is one polygon. There's another one farther south down here that includes Winterboro and Sycamore and Childersburg and Sylacauga and all these places down here. So again, severe thunderstorm warnings blanket the area east of that line. But the good news we can report is that the wind velocities have come way down. And that's a good thing. And I noticed that the Weather Service continues to update the warnings, and they keep bringing the winds down. Initially, the winds were forecast as high as 70. Now they've got it as high as 60. And again, it's the good news, the storms are slowly weakening, and I think that trend will likely continue. You see that note, Bill? I'm about 10 minutes from Waldo. Y'all should put a camera on the old fire tower on Horns Mountain. You could see forever. I would love to have a Waldo Skycam. That would be outstanding. And we've got so many cameras now, it's like I lose track of how many we have online now. But again, up in the top box, you're seeing the statewide cameras just looping through, so you can see statewide conditions. Bottom camera, that's the Region Skycam at Bald Rock Mountain. And again, this is right in the line of fire here, if you will. The storm's coming through, but it just looks like the worst of the wind could be south of there, maybe a bit south of Bald Rock Mountains. So again, right in through here, Childersburg, ultimately Talladega, ultimately Sylacauga, Columbiana, very strong winds, a lot of rain, but no tornadoes. And the good news, we have not had any major tornado issues tonight. Let's see here. Everybody's griping at me about TV stations cutting off programmings. We haven't cut off anything. We have nothing to cut off.
It's just habit, James.
That's right. People just get. I get the hate mail no matter what. It's just, yeah. If only you could walk a mile in my shoes in a normal day, you wouldn't believe it. And remember, you can't hurt my feelings because
you have no feelings left to hurt.
That's right. There are none left. All right, 8:53. And Bill, I'll let you gather in more of these user-generated content from our viewers.
Yeah, this is just such an honor to get to do, James. WEXO 5 has some images, and I want to thank our newest team member, James, Emily Kirk, who's joined us from the University of Georgia. She's given up her spring break to be with us this week. She'll be with us in the summer. But Emily's been helping to curate a lot of content tonight, and this is her first day on the job. So this is like J.B. Elliott, James, back in when he joined the National Weather Service, or would have been the U.S. Weather Bureau back then. He walked right into a severe weather situation, so did Emily. But this is trees down in Inverness tonight, and we're getting lots of reports of trees down in Hoover and Vestavia as that core of strong winds moved across. And you know, we're getting lots of reports. Chris Brook, our other great scanner monitors, I'd call them scanner jockeys. Brian Falls gave me the approval to say that. But Ridge Drive in Vestavia, Countrywood Lane, those are some of the places. James, your lessons are paying off.
Yes, yes.
And I think you should, just as an homage, put your Regions bicycle helmet on before this night is over.
I need to.
When things calm down. This image from earlier was from a lightning tree that was struck near Atwood, and so I've got a real surprise for you when we leave WEXO 5. This is our great sky watcher. She's a legacy. Valerie Hughes. She captured the storm as it was coming out of Pickens County, and that storm is still quite strong. The Weather Service in Birmingham issuing a new downstream severe thunderstorm warning along US 82. So I want to make sure our friends in Pickens County are still continuing to monitor that storm. This is flooding right here, James, in Inverness, and it's actually getting high enough to get near, getting into people's cars. So that's kind of scary. This is some storm damage tonight from Nance's Creek up in North Alabama. Pine tree fell and damaged a home there. And so you see some of the photographs of that. And here's a home that was struck by lightning in Guntersville. This storm has packed some punch, James, across the state of Alabama today. And I hope it's not indicative of what we're going to deal with this spring in the state in this severe weather season we're right in the middle of.
So what do you think? This is a bad look for an old man. It's a bad look.
You kind of look like something from what was the game we used to play on the Nintendo?
Yoshi?
Yeah.
Yeah. The best part is it doesn't key out.
No. We tested this helmet to be sure that it doesn't key out. Putting a bicycle helmet on an old man is like putting lipstick on a hog. It's a bad look. But no, in all seriousness, this kind of helmet will protect you. And look, too many people have died on my watch. They have. And in so many cases, the treating physicians have said that if they would have had on a bicycle helmet, they'd be alive today. A motorcycle helmet, a batting helmet, a football helmet. It's a big deal. So as part of your severe weather plan and your safe place, you want to have a helmet for everybody. And again, it's not just for kids. Every life is precious. Every single life is precious. So that's why we consider these to be very important. All right, so we're watching our storm in Pickens County. And the Weather Service, hello, I just got a sticker off my helmet here. They have issued a severe thunderstorm warning to the Tuscaloosa County line. And again, there's no evidence of a tornado. This is broad. We have seen this over and over and over again tonight. Broad rotation, not tornadic. But that storm could be producing some pretty strong winds, and that's moving into Tuscaloosa County. Now, the air has been really worked over here, and I'm hoping that will help this to weaken in coming minutes and hours. And that's the reason the Weather Service did not extend this into Tuscaloosa County because, again, there's been so much rain, so much thunder, so much stuff going on here. But let's go to the, JP's a step ahead of me. That's the University of Alabama Skycam looking into this, okay? So from here, we're looking back into that. You see the lightning back on the horizon. This is the Skycam that is on the north end zone at the Bryant-Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa. And it's got a great view of the periphery looking back off to the west. And again, there's a lot of lightning, needless to say here, and that'll be crossing into western Tuscaloosa County. Places like Elrod, Buell, out here, you'll be dealing with that soon. It could produce some pretty strong gusty winds. And if it holds together, it could wind up affecting the city of Tuscaloosa. You know, the first storm that stirred up the big ruckus, the one that came through and knocked down all the trees and caused so much, problems, that was north of Tuscaloosa. That came through the far northern part of the county. It overturned an 18-wheeler in Fayette County. If you watched our coverage, you saw the live drone video from Kevin Henderson. That missed the city of Tuscaloosa. That was far, far north of there. This is a storm that could affect the city if it holds together. But we're hoping that with rain-cooled air and the air being worked over, the storm will gradually weaken. But hope is not, what's the saying, Bill? Hope is not a plan. That's
right. Hope is not a plan.
Hope is not a plan. You have to plan for a storm that would maintain its strength, and hopefully we can report back soon that this thing is slowly dissipating.
Also, James is going to mention Kevin in the top right. He's in Tuscaloosa, I believe, now.
Okay.
And he's about to put his drone up, apparently.
Okay, good. So again, this is Kevin Henderson, who is in the top box, and Kevin's done a great job tonight. I want to thank all of our chasers in the field. They have done an outstanding job tonight of staying safe and taking care of themselves and getting us some amazing views of damage and weather at the same time. And this is when it gets hard. This is when we have these nighttime storms, and you have to wait on lightning to illuminate the storms. And again, JP's got the University of Alabama camera looking west, and we'll kind of leave that up now. Although, let's look at Anniston real quick, JP. I'm sorry, Bald Rock. Let's do Bald Rock first. I just want to look at that real quick. And let's see what the peak wind gust is. And again, that will give us a clue as to how our storms are behaving. Still 25, that's good. Let's go to Anniston. Let's check our peak wind gust in downtown Anniston. And let's see, 48. All right, so in downtown Anniston, we have had a peak wind gust of 48 miles per hour with this batch of storms that came through earlier. That's on to the east. But again, that's the kind of wind that you've experienced tonight. Let's check the Gadsden Skycam, the one that's up on Nakalula Mountain or Lookout Mountain, overlooking the city. And we'll see what the gust is there, 12. That's not bad. So Anniston clearly wins the battle of the wind tonight. So let's go back to Tuscaloosa. The University of Alabama camera will keep that thing pointed west. Now let's see, Drew, it looks like we kind of lost most of our warnings here.
Yeah, it looks like they allowed, I think they probably canceled some of those ones we were talking about earlier that looked like that was starting to weaken. So it's kind of expecting they do that here fairly soon. So it looks like they've maintained some near some of the strongest part of that. Those storms will still have the heavier cores there near Talladega and Sylacauga. But other than that, yeah, further to the east, they've let those drop.
Yeah. So again, let's see. Let's take that radar data off. Let me just see the polygons for a second here if we can do that. Yeah, there we go. So basically all of Talladega County is under a warning, an extreme southern St. Clair. And that's our one warning in East Alabama. The warnings to the east have been canceled and that line segment's moved on out of there. So we've got in East Alabama the one warning for Talladega County for the possibility of strong winds. And again, the storms are weakening. The wind velocities are coming down. That's good. So let's go on the other side of the state. And again, we'll check that Pickens County warning. And again, we have two warnings. The one here for Talladega and St. Clair. There's the other one, a small part of Pickens County for the storm that's moving out of Pickens into Tuscaloosa. So let's put the reflectivity back on and take a look at this thing to see how it's behaving. And again, you got a live look at it here coming from the campus of the University of Alabama, looking west. That's from Bryant-Denny Stadium. And let's look at the velocity. Just see by chance anything interesting there. Not really. I would suggest the winds we had some pretty good rotation here. You see it right back in its earlier track, but like right back in through there, you notice the skits. But now it's just, it seems to be weakening. And again, I think that's the general idea, is that this will be weakening as it comes into Tuscaloosa County. And I really don't think they'll extend the warning into Tuscaloosa County based on that. Remember, lightning is nothing to do with severe criteria. Every storm has gobs of lightning. Every storm has heavy rain. Every storm has creepy looking clouds, but hardly any of them have damaging wind or large hail. That's the two criteria for severe storms: damaging wind, large hail. We see no evidence of that at this point. So let's see if I was incorrect, Bill. What warning is that?
No, this is canceling the watch for Blount, Cherokee, Etowah, Fayette, and Walker.
Okay. Yeah, that's again, the watch is slowly going away. We do not believe the watch will be extended. There's no need for that. The watch will go away for everybody in less than 1 hour at 10 o'clock. It's 9:04. So again, that's good. In fact, we'll put the watch back up on the board here. And that's kind of a weird look right here. That's a topic for another day. Has nothing to do with us. This is a Weather Service jurisdiction thing, which
it's actually a glitch, James. Those counties are cleared. They just didn't come out of the system.
Oh, these up here are cleared. Yeah, but there's no risk of severe storms in the Tennessee Valley. So
and it's not just our system. It was at the Weather Service level.
Okay. Well, so if you're up here, your risk of severe weather is over. These counties are still in the watch for another 55 minutes, and everybody goes out at 10 o'clock, and we should be done here by 10 o'clock. That'll make Ryan happy. Does that make you happy? JP's make you happy? We got to get JP mic'd up. Whatever happened to his mic over there? Because he's funny. I mean, JP's funny. And sometimes when everything calms down, you need some humor here. And I gave people plenty of humor wearing this thing. I'm all over TikTok and the web and in the socials right now. Lipstick on a Hog. That's the show title for this one tonight. But again, things are slowly winding down. And again, we'll stay with this for a while longer. We've had thunderstorms that have produced wind damage in a number of different parts of the state. We did have a brief tornado warning for northern Tuscaloosa County. Didn't last long. Most all of the damage, straight line winds. And let's pop the power outage map up, Drew, and take a look at the latest numbers here. Statewide, we are at 18,636. Wow, look at Jefferson County. 6,000 have no power. 6,000 in Jefferson County. 1,000 in Shelby County, 1,000 in Etowah County, 1,000 in Blount and Cullman County. So a lot of folks are in the dark as we speak. Statewide, again, the total is 18,636. Madison with 200 outages here. Tennessee Valley fared pretty well with this. Most of the issues obviously were down through this part of the state. South Alabama, you've done just fine. Tuscaloosa, 600, and that's not that many for that population base in Tuscaloosa County. Fayette with 800 outages, Calhoun with up to 900, and 100 in Talladega, 200 in Coosa, 400 in St. Clair. But again, 18,000 statewide. So let's go back to the radar. A few logistical points. Again, we're watching this weakening storm coming into Tuscaloosa County. We don't expect the warning to be extended. Again, you've got thunder, lightning, and again, you can see it. I mean, there it is. You can see it coming from the University of Alabama campus. But let's see, this is drone video from Kevin Henderson, right? Let's take that full, Ryan, real quick. So
He's
let me
coming down here. So
let's see if we can talk to Kevin. Kevin, where you at? What you got?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Wonderful, James. Excellent.
So where are you exactly?
I am at Kentucky Fried Chicken right here in Tuscaloosa.
Hey, KFC. So you're looking back into the storm. And first off, talk to us about the overturned 18-wheeler. You gave us that incredible video from your drone. Did you get any information about how that happened or details while you were there?
No, I didn't speak to anyone there. It looks like maybe it just slid off the road, but, that's just my observation. I'm not sure.
Right. And again, let me just say, Kevin, we're watching the lightning illuminating your drone shot. And that's not a tornado we're seeing. That's a rain shaft. A lot of times you'll see a rain shaft and people confuse that with a tornado. I just wanted to make that perfectly clear that there's not a large tornado approaching Tuscaloosa. That is a shaft of heavy rain. And hopefully the storm will continue to weaken, which it has been doing. But did you notice any other damage, Kevin, on your journeys tonight? Any damaged trees, power lines, anything?
Just some tree branches in the road, but nothing major.
Okay, well, that's good. But your work is just tremendous, and we thank you so much for giving us this shot from Tuscaloosa. Again, this is Kevin Henderson. He's one of the best drone operators in the country, and we're honored that he's working with us. And again, this is his bird's eye view of the storm that is coming in to the extreme western part of Tuscaloosa County. But the storms are weakening. And again, they packed the punch earlier, but the velocities have been coming down. They've been coming down not only in the Pickens County storm, but also in the East Alabama storms, the one that's coming through Talladega County. And I fully know that for some of you, it's still very windy and very wet and very loud, especially if you're in Sylacauga, if you're in Talladega. I totally understand the weather's not good, but the storms are considerably weaker than they were 1 to 2 hours ago. Really not much comparison. And again, the Pickens County storm, the warning has expired. I don't see it, Drew. I do believe it's gone.
Yeah, it's gone. Yep.
Yeah. So we have no warning on the Pickens County storm, and the warning was not extended into Tuscaloosa County. So this is a sub-severe storm, weakening, which is great for Tuscaloosa. And again, you got the drone shot coming from Kevin. Let's go to the storm over in Talladega County, and it's the same thing. This storm is weakening and fading pretty fast. The wind velocities have come way down, and when does this warning go out? Do we know by the time?
Looks like it goes to 9:15.
9:30. Yeah,
9:30 on the southern one. Yeah.
Yeah. These storms are pretty much sub-severe at this point. I don't know if they'll cancel them early or just let them ride out, but they are clearly sub-severe at this point. So really and truly, we have weakening showers and thunderstorms across the state. And that's pretty much going to do it for tonight. The next round of storms will be Wednesday night. And a couple of logistical points for those of you that are watching. Maybe you're watching for the first time. If you're watching on your phone, maybe on Facebook or YouTube or the Alabama Weather Network app, remember, you can put our app on your television. We know that when you go home, you watch Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime, you press a little icon and it pops up. That's how you do it with us, except it's easier. You hit the button and there it is. There's no choice. We just come up with our live stream. That way you can watch it on your big screen television very easily. And if you're maybe on a platform, we have apps for Apple TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, but maybe you got a TV on a different platform, just get the YouTube app and follow Alabama Weather Network on YouTube. You can watch us that way on your big TV. That's a very easy way of doing that. We stream across all the major social platforms, but be sure that app is on your TV, your phone, and your tablet. All of these cameras, you can see them anytime. The Region Skycam network on our apps. It's astounding. I love looking at some of these cameras, especially the Gulf Coast cameras this time of the year. They're outstanding. Some of the cameras are so scenic. So remember, get that app. If you've not done it before, tell your friends. And with this active weather, we're here. And we've got resources and people like I've never had before. It's a joy to work with the men and women in the studio tonight and the ones that are out in the field. And this is a relatively minor event. We've had really no tornado issues here. Imagine when we've got a big tornado day, what we can do. It's astounding. And we're just using a fraction of the resources here with this activity tonight. And again, the other nice thing is the fact that we can just stay on here and we're not cutting off anybody's program. And understand, we partner with ABC 3340. I have been there almost 30 years. It's a part of my soul. It's an honor to still be on ABC 3340 every evening at 5 and 6 o'clock. But for what we do here, we don't have to cut off the programming. Now, ABC 3340 can take us anytime they want to. We're partners. We are joined at the hip. But in terms of what we do, when I was in traditional television for so long, you had to worry about what program are you interrupting. We don't interrupt anything here except us, which is a really good thing. So again, it's winding down. So we're going to go around the horn for final thoughts, and that we pretty much got sub-severe storms. Drew, final thoughts from you.
Yeah, I mean, I think we obviously are seeing that trend now, which the models had indicated. And I will say, I just wanted to kind of think this is just kind of interesting, just to kind of take a look back real quick at what we've seen over the last several hours. Talked about the models had shown kind of a storm of the day that would be kind of tracking from North Mississippi all the way through Alabama. And I mean, I think that's the one that did the most tree damage that we talked about. I think that basically kind of verified pretty well, and the track that it took was pretty similar to what we saw. So I'm just honestly just kind of amazing sometimes where we've been able to get with the science of weather. Of course, it's not perfect. Obviously, we know that for sure. We're reminded of that just about every day. But it is interesting to me that really the models were kind of picking up on this within the last couple of days. And I mean, we really did kind of get that same kind of look there with that cell that really kind of was the main one that we got the major wind issues with, some of the damage with that. Also had some hail with it as well. So that's one takeaway for me, I guess, is just that it turned out pretty close to what we were expecting. And thankfully, again, we've obviously had some trees down in a lot of places, but so far so good, I think, as far as not hearing of any injuries and things like that. So that's obviously our first priority with this.
Yeah, and we always say models are wrong, some are useful, some are very useful. And I will agree, the convection allowing models, the CAMs, they perform very well with this feature today. Bill Murray, final thoughts from you. Any final shots, photographs you want to show?
Yeah, a couple of things, James. Andrew Wood in South Point said thank you for your enhanced wording on that severe thunderstorm warning. That we, needed to treat it, in an enhanced way, and that meant a lot to him. So that was important. And someone asked if we're being simulcast on any AM and FM stations, and I know our partners at Summit. We have equipment here in the studio, so the Summit radio stations. And in a second, you can tell us which ones that those are. And someone on our Facebook page said that I sounded like Cal on Talladega Nights. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, James.
What?
But anyway, I'll leave
is that
that.
the Ricky Bobby thing?
I guess so.
Wow.
But I'll leave that to the user. But I'll close with this video right here, and I'm with this child. Well, I think I just went into low power mode. after all this, let's see if it'll hold out for just one more minute. This child right here loves their tornado helmet, and that's the dance I'm going to do tonight, since we're going to get through this hopefully with no injuries.
That's outstanding. Yeah, for those that not watched us before, the only metric that really matters, it's loss of life and injuries. And to my knowledge, we've had none tonight, and we're very thankful for that. That's the goal here. So this is March 9th. We all know that the tornado season here runs from November through May. But two of the big months are March and April. So it tends to be very active this time of the year. And I'll be honest with you, since we put this network online back in August of last year, the weather has been quiet as a mouse. But we all know at some point it's going to break loose, whether it's tropical or severe or whatever. But the other thing I want to be sure you understand is that tonight we've kind of focused on this part of the state because that's where the weather has been active. We cover, it doesn't matter what county you live in, you're covered the same, with the same level of professionalism, equipment, resources. It doesn't matter. Let's say you live in Wilcox County. Let's say you live in Camden. Doesn't matter. We've got your back. Let's say you live in, I don't know, pick a town. How about Andalusia? We've got your back. We've got you covered. You live in, I don't know, Seal. You live in Waterloo. Whatever. We've got you covered. And it doesn't matter what weather service domain you're in, doesn't matter what TV market you're in. We've got all 67 Alabama counties covered, and we will continue to do this every time we have active weather. And again, the commitment is to be live during tornado warnings. We're not going to be live during every severe thunderstorm warning. That's, again, not all severe thunderstorm warnings are the same. We just believe that the ones tonight were high-end warnings that required some additional long coverage. But again, the storms have weakened. We don't expect any additional severe weather tonight. And the next time we'll be live, most likely, look at that lightning. Again, lightning doesn't make a storm severe. That's the storm in western Tuscaloosa County. But most likely the next time we'll be live will be Wednesday night. Same crew. And again, we'll